to the Fulani, have you gotten anything? Ordinary vice you cannot get. Ordinary Senate president you don't have, you have nothing. That is the price you pay for sabotage. Treachery. You think they don't know in the North? They know now, they're laughing at you because you're dumb. you wear that cap and you're talking rubbish. You're an elder, a little boy. In IPOB, we have Council of Elders in IPOB. We have crowned heads in IPOB. We have kings. In fact, let me put it this way, traditional rulers. And a chaff, you know, a chaff, a complete chaff. Is calling them youths. Those youths. Have you not seen our mothers before in Anambra? Do they look young to you? People that gave birth to men who are older than you. You're calling them youths. You see how foolish they are. You see how foolish they are. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's their lot. That was how Zeke sold them down the river. And today you're suffering it. Are you not suffering it today? The same Ifulefu mentality. I want to prove to all of you that this very effort to Islamize, to take over our land, is a concerted effort. And the reason why I like other people, and you know, the stupidity, I'm not saying that there are not some, of course there are some Biafran journalists who are very good. They will always try to be objective and report what is happening. But there are those who are fools. I want to use Daily Trust in the North and most of the Lagos-based newspapers in the West to also educate our people. I want our people to understand this. I want Biafrans to understand this very simple logic. The same way I've been able to prove to you that throughout the agitation of OPC for Oduduwa State, when they perceived the injustice of June 12 annulment, they agitated. No Yoruba man came out to ask OPC to stop what they're doing until they got Yoruba presidency. The same thing happened in the North. No Northerner came out and said to Boko Haram, stop what you're doing so we can go and get Fulani presidency. No. Two of them were working together. As a result of Boko Haram, Buhari got into office. As a result of OPC activities on the ground, the Yorubas got presidency. They never attacked their frontline activists. Never. Only an Igbo man does that. And that's why they have nothing. Do you see how foolish they are? Do you know that Daily Trust newspaper is a Janjaweed paper advancing the Fulani cause? And they know that the last line of defense is IPOB. They know that. That is why they will attack it. Let me tell you what they claim an Igbo man wrote. Nigerian army inroads into the southeast, where they are praising, his name is Linus Okoye. He was writing and praising Fulani army killing their own people. An Igbo man, Linus Okoye. Because tomorrow when people get upset, when men rise and get upset and start dealing with these saboteurs, some of you will start complaining. We look at what they are writing. And a Daily Trust newspaper gleefully wrote it. Daily Trust is working. It's a Fulani paper working for the Fulani Janjaweed. Do you know what this fool said? That the Nigerian army has done so well in the southeast. This is the army that killed his people. The massacre that Amnesty International documented at Mpo. Massacre in Aba. Nobody's hiding that. Did Britain say anything? Was there any commission of inquiry? No. An Igbo man is praising a Fulani army, more or less, for killing his people. It's in the Daily Trust. What, you know, how well they did, killing his own people. That's what they learned from Hanezela. Any Sabo goes, if Loretta Noche calls you now and gives you maybe 2,000 naira. I remember one idiot that was working for Family Writers before. And a number of politicians called him, gave him one laptop, one smartphone, and 2,000 recharge card every week. And he turned into a saboteur for 2,000 naira, one laptop and one smartphone. Talk less of this one. Who knows what it must have been? Maybe as assistant to assistant PA on media to one idiot in Abuja, and he wrote for Daily Trust. If you go there, they say, no people man write this. They are saying Burata is doing very well, killing his people. What they learned from Hanesa. Because you see goats, when goat gives birth to a baby goat, when mother goat is eating yam, baby goat is watching the mother goat eat yam. One day baby goat will go and taste yam as well. That's what it. What I'm saying is that, in effect, is that what Hanesa has been able to do is to entrench a culture of betrayal and deceit into the mentality of an Igbo man. Because they can see that betrayal pays. If I betray my people, Abuja will give me something. So why don't I betray? That's what they're now doing. So it is now in our bone marrow. Betrayal. That's why somebody wrote this, his name is Linus Okoye, praising somebody for killing his people. Whereas the man that they claim they're running the zoo in his name, Buhari, when he Hejrika bombed Boko Haram hideouts, he was screaming until they removed the Hejrika. You see how an Igbo man behaves. Very foolish, very foolish indeed. Very sad. That's the way they are. You can't change them. But IPOB is here. And very soon the result will be out. You know how, do you see how miraculous, our God is? When I launched BSS, they said because of BSS we are coming to kill you. The same thing that when I was launched in 2017, they came to kill me. Our Yoruba brothers have launched it. Even terrorists, Mieti Allah, have launched their own. The same thing I said in 2014, 2015, arm yourselves. Today, Catholic bishops, governors are now saying it, go and arm yourselves. We are always one step ahead of our enemies. Luckily for us now, the Yorubas have launched their own. The terrorist group, Fulani terrorists, have launched theirs, Mieti Allah. We are the only ones left. And we are coming, we are coming. We are coming now. It's only a matter of time. We are coming. We are coming and the world will see it. Now let me see who is going to write. Because once they write their petition, these professional petition writers, once they write now, can you see, Nnamdi Kanu has raised an army. I will simply send pictures of Amoteku and newspaper cuttings of Mieti Allah to every diplomatic mission in the world to say that what we are doing is no different from what others have done, you see. Do you know those who are going to fight us? The same governors you have because they were put there by Fulani men. Fulani will call them and say, what are you doing? Are you there? That in their own place they are funding bandits and terrorists. But in your own land, that IPOB is coming to defend you. They ask you to sabotage them. And you come out and talking rubbish. As usual. As usual. That tells you all you need to know. That tells you all you need to know. And this evening, I just want the world to have an insight into the brain of those that claim they are leading our people on the ground in Biafra land, be they in politics or in social-cultural groups like Ohanese. Also, them petitions, the National Judicial Council, I think that's what it's called, NJC, the AGF, his Fulani masters, over Supreme Court Governor Tag by the PDP. That was yesterday. He wrote to them saying, PDP are calling me Supreme Court Governor. And the question tonight, are you not Supreme Court Governor? Who made you governor? Did Imo people vote for you? The answer is no. How did you emerge governor? You went to Supreme Court. And it is another thing that I find distressingly baffling is this. How we all forget so easily. They went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court tabulated the number of votes cast. And it is more than what INEC submitted. And that was how he emerged as the governor. Supreme Court sat down and said, let's make him governor. Some of you that is the Fulani Caliphate. They want Uzodema or their pet, their stooge, to give them an Ohanese PG that is loyal to them, even more loyal than the present one you have. That's why they put this ex-criminal there. 419 in Lagos. He was the secretary of 419ers in Lagos. He was a professional scammer, a thief. He will write letter and tell you, come and buy, or we want to sell a plot or land to you, and they scam you. These are the type of leaders you have. This is the type of person who emerged, that they chose a criminal they know is a rogue to be Imo State governor. and Ohaneze visited him, solidarity visit. No honor, no dignity, no discipline. Oh dear. Welcome to the world of mad people. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has petitioned the National Judicial Council and Abubakar Malami, who is himself under probe and investigation over the tag of Supreme Court governor used to describe him by the PDP. Hope Uzodinma, who brought you out, is not Supreme Court. Not only did the Supreme Court bring him out, this Supreme Court full of monkeys with horse wig on their head, they sat down. Number of voters in Imo State was 850,000. Supreme Court conjured up 935,000. And the simple question was, or is, where did you get the extra votes from? They don't know. Is INEC not your umpire or electoral referee set up by an act of parliament? Yes. If I want to know the number of people that cast their votes to put in that terrorist sponsor, El Rufai in Kaduna, who do I go to? I go to INEC, not to Supreme Court. So Supreme Court, who did you go to determine the number of votes cast in Imo State? Nobody. Even INEC was raising their hand to speak in court. They said, no, sit down. This bunch of fools sat down and decided to award votes to Hope Uzodinma. That was how he emerged, courtesy of Supreme Court. And nobody will stop. Everybody will keep calling him Supreme Court governor until he leaves that place. Our people don't know it's a slap on the faces of all Biafran people. You don't know that. A very dirty slap. With Hope Uzodinma, what the Fulanis are saying to is that we can do anything we like. For the idiots asking us to go into politics, you can see it now from number 4 to number 1. What can you do? Nothing. They have army at Obinze. If you talk, they will shoot you dead. And the world will ask what is happening. Oh, let's ask Britain. Britain, they'll go to UK and ask them, what is happening? Did you hear all the shootings of the protesters in Owerri? They say, no, it's a minor, it's a farmer-header clash. And the case will be closed. These are the things I want. As long as you listen to us, your life can never be the same. You'll be able to reason properly. I want the world to understand why in Biafra land we have a conveyor belt of saboteurs. Conveyor belt. Because the political leadership, they got to where they are by compromising and sabotaging each other. That's how they got to where they are. The sociocultural group itself, or Hanese, they are the ones that have entrenched betrayal as a way of life, as a way of reasoning. That is why every idiot will come, okay, now, I remember when we were growing up, Chubo Kadiwe was our role model in terms of politics. He read political science and he was well spoken and he was very good and he did brilliant things and all the rest of it. Everybody within that Shagari era, not because they supported MPN, but because of Chubo Kadiwe, they wanted to read. Every young, impressionable, teenager wanted to become a political scientist, to be like Chubo Kadiwe. There's something that is happening now. You have seen that these people, they made it by betraying one another by selling our land. So everybody wants to betray and sell our land. So they can be like couples of them, who knows? They can make them governor one day. Once Fulani comes and looks at your record of treachery against your people, they'll see if they can promote you. That's why you have endless supply of saboteurs every blessed day. But of course, and very soon, result of one another. Very soon, the world will hear about them. Very, very soon. They'll be shamed very soon. You'll hear about them. The IPOB, we are the largest mass movement on this earth, bar none. When we march, the earth vibrates. the largest in the whole world. And that is why our enemies are afraid of us. He is the Supreme Court governor, and that remains his name forever and ever because they appointed him. With what is happening in southern Kaduna, what is happening in Katsina, what is happening in the rainforest, as this very good man put it, the former deputy governor of the CBN, what is now very clear is that there is a genocidal war going on. In the midst of the genocidal war, the Fulanis have come to Nimbo, they have come to Ozowan, they have come to Oka, they have come everywhere, they are settling in our land by force. Somebody will rise up from the same land where people are crying, where women are saying we cannot go to the farm anymore. Our mothers in Ungwa, they are protesting every blessed day. That's their land, they can no longer go to the farm. And somebody from there, a so-called politician will rise up and say, I'm fighting for one Nigeria. Unbelievable. They have prepared and are not taking anything for granted, the Fulani Janjaweed. Their mission is very clear and nothing will stand between them and accomplishing their goal. Our people always fail to understand that Islam will always expand. It's a natural phenomenon. It will always expand. It can never stand still. There are good Islamic scholars. There are good people who are in Islam. I've engaged some of them in discussions. There are good people. Because somebody's religion is something very private. It's between you and your God. Anything you want to worship is entirely up to you. But the Fulanis have used this religion to deceive the Hausa people and conquer them. They used it to deceive the Gwari people, the Nupe people, convinced everybody, conquered them all the way to Egala land. Do you understand? And they're still using it till today. And it will not wash with IPOB. And we are saying to them, to the whole world concerned, we are very intelligent, we have scientists who can make things happen. And as I said, in the not too distant future, the results will be there for all to see. We don't care what you say. I don't give a damn what you're going to say. I don't give a toss. You know us, not the way we operate. We don't give a damn what the world will say. But Biafra must stand. If you ask me to stay in the zoo, that means you want me to be Islamized by force against my will, and that will not happen. It won't happen. And as I keep saying, there is nothing I have said before that I have not done. And when I tell that Biafra is coming, it's coming. It doesn't matter what our enemy is, it doesn't matter. Instead, all of us will die there. I'm saying it in the open. Cut out this clip and send it to diplomats as they normally do. Cut it out. And as you're cutting it out, you also know we are doing our own. All those things you said about Boko Haram, all those things that El Rufai did, paying killers, all those things, we are also supplying them. We know you bribe them. We know that the diplomatic community in the zoo, they are corrupt. We know that you pay diplomats. Once they come to the zoo, you give them $1 million each to start with as a welcome package. So they can be sending false reports back to their home nations. We know that for sure. But we're not going to tell you that Biafra is truly the last miracle on this earth. No matter what you do, you can't stop Biafra from coming. None of the Fulefus, all these idiots talking rubbish, nonsense, we want the presidency, this president. All of you, when the chips are down, you will run. You will go to Katsina and do your presidency there. Mad people everywhere. Your people are sick in the brain. You are the only ones who think you can climb the grisly pole of political patronage by disparaging your own people. How foolish, you foolish. Now listen, they are coming. And they will not stop until they conquer all of you. You know there is a saying that will come from when they are carrying somebody else's corpse, you don't feel it. Once that person is not a relative, you don't feel anything until it happens to you. And always have, if you've learned nothing tonight, have this at the back of your mind. All the one Nigeria garbage that Hazikiwe played, where did it get us to? To tell you how much they hate us. To tell you how much Britain and the Fulani, how much Britain has turned the brain of the Fulani to hate. Once they see a Biafran, if they see an Igbo man, it is pure hatred, isn't it? The day that I realized that Ojukwu never seceded, the day it came, but if you see how they went into history books all over the world, even on the secessionist, you would think that Nigeria has been existing for the past 6,000 years. Nobody took time to say, but these people have been existing before you created your Nigeria. Nobody said that Ojukwu went to Aburi and negotiated a confederation with Gowon. Nobody said it. Nobody wrote and said Ojukwu stayed in Enugu and said, no, I will not go back to join a one unitary Nigeria. On Aburi, I stand. They never said that, which was restructuring. So all the idiots talking about restructuring, want to restructure, I ask you, what did Ojukwu go to Aburi to do? You know their brain is so shallow. You know zoo education. They don't retain information. The thing about the brain of your average Nigerian, a monkey in the zoo, is that they have a sandy brain. You pour information, they retain it for one day, and it keeps speculating until they go to the toilet and they urinate it out. And it's gone. They don't know how to hold anything for reference purposes. They don't know the reason why you go to school and you learn is for reference purposes. You tell them something, they cannot retain it. You say to somebody now, the reason why I don't believe in Nigeria is because look at those that believed in it. Where are they today? Like Azikiwe. When he or she wants to respond to your argument, they forget entirely what you just said. They go to a new point. I say, oh, but I want to be a Nigerian. But those that went before you and preached one Nigeria, their villages are now under Fulani occupation. Do you still believe in one Nigeria? They can't answer. And then the next day, they go back to the old argument. That is the brain, very porous brain of these people. In all these genocidal conflicts, lives have been lost. And I want all of you to understand that the reason why the Fulanis are getting away with murder, literally, is because Britain is supporting them. As I said, immediately after the Second World War, there was a gentleman's agreement, reminiscent of the 1884-86 Berlin Conference on the partition of Africa. Do you know what they decided? They said that anywhere you are remains your area of influence. Although we may give them their flag as independent nations in Africa, but we still control their destiny. Ask me how, and I will tell you. Some of you don't know this, but I've said it before, and allow me to repeat. You see Togo, after Benin Republic and before Ghana. Do you know that Togo was a German territory before? Togo was a German colony. It was given to France as compensation or reparation after the Second World War. Are you aware of that? Togo in Africa, that had nothing to do with the war in Europe, was used to compensate France. Do you know that Cameroon was also German? Do all of you know? You see Cameroon here. Both Ambazonia were their brothers of Ambazonia and the North. Do you know that they were controlled by Germany? That after the Second World War, they cut it off. Northern part was given to France. The southern part, the Anglophone, was given to British as compensation. You see Africans in our villages fetching water from our stream, trying to make ends meet. They were in Europe discussing who would own us. That was how Togo became a French colony. That is how Togo is today using CFA. Do you understand how they share your lives? So anybody telling you that Britain doesn't decide what is happening in the zoo, you are either deceiving yourself or you are completely daft. They still see Nigeria as British territory till tomorrow morning. You cannot do anything there without going to Britain first. Why is it then, why therefore is it difficult for all the French West Africa to break away from CFA? Break away now, listen. You can talk, you can do all your meetings you like, but France is controlling you, and so shall it be. Because you're niggers from Africa, you have no direct control over your lives. You sold your future, your fathers betrayed you, all of you. You are properties of the Europeans. This is called neo-colonialism. You are nothing. That is why in the zoo, the Fulanis can kill everybody, because the first person you defer to is UK High Commission in Abuja. You ask them what is going on, and you say it's nothing, it's just a minor clash here and there. And they continue to enslave you. You see how your life is? The life of a nigger is very, very hard, isn't it? Defend yourselves against them. That is the talk. But if I say defend yourselves, they say Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. But Boko Haram and Miyetti Allah, who are the ones, the bandits killing people, no one has gone for ex parte motion asking for them to be tagged the terrorist group. All of you are there, 200 million people, as foolish as ever, mopishly looking, looking. Bandits are killing you. Nobody has gone to court to say, let us label them a terrorist group. But an unarmed group asking you to defend yourselves, all of you were there, IPOB was tagged a terrorist group by the Fulani. Do you see such hypocrisy and such double standards? Let me play this for you so you understand it. You understand what the Fulanis are doing. This man called Malafia is called, the former central bank governor. DSS invited him. But the same DSS has never invited Miet Yala leader for going and saying that the Benue belongs to them, that they will kill and take over the people's land. They have never invited Miet Yala leader. Britain is there. DSS is because they are Fulani. Everybody is Fulani. Miet Yala is a Fulani terrorist group. Nobody has ever invited them. And all of you wake up in the morning, I want to defend Nigeria. I will defend Nigeria. When I look at I say to myself, but the Europeans, these are the people to experiment with. They're looking for guinea pigs to test COVID-19 vaccine and all the rest of the stupid drugs you make. Look, there are enough black people who are so foolish that all they are good for is for laboratory experiment. I'm telling you the truth. Let us listen to this preacher, Prophet Isa El-Buba Sadiq. I didn't ask you to listen to anybody else from IPOB. Listen to this man. I am playing for you people who are not Biafrans. These are people who that Britain gave to the Fulani, calling them North. Any day you realize what Britain came to do, you will know. Do you know that Britain came, and do you know that the creation of Nigeria itself is a direct project of Satan? Do you know that the reason why that place was named Nigeria? Nigeria means nigger area, black area, darkness, poverty, backwardness, satanic. That's the meaning of it. Do you know why they named it Nigeria? Was because we are children of light, because of Biafrans. Are you aware? Do you know the reason why they named that place Nigeria, a place of darkness, was because we represent the light? Do you see why we love Ojukwu so much? Ojukwu himself doesn't even know what he came to do. I don't think he knows. He thought it was just an accident. You know, people were killed in the north and he went back home and declared Biafra. No. God was using him for a purpose because his heart was clean and clear. He was a good man. Our eternal leader was a good man. His heart was clear. God saw something in him and used him at that time to announce his kingdom to come. And they all went after him. That thing Ojukwu saw 50 years ago is now happening, isn't it? Because we are blessed. Britain created Nigeria because of us. They have come. Satan sent them to extinguish the light, and that light is Biafra. That was why they named the place darkness. And empowered the Fulani so much. The Fulani has no job in life. For the British, suppress Biafra, keep them down, kill them, massacre them, jail them, do anything you like. We are here, we are Britain, we will defend you anywhere in the world. That's what's been happening. Let me play what this man said, and we try and bring the program to it. So let me play it for you. There are many things to cover, but I'm sure on Friday morning we'll go through them. Listen. The question I want to ask, yes, has the Nigerian Constitution denied any Nigerian of self-defense? Still on self-defense, sir. You remember that thing I said in Los Angeles, that said Nnamdi Kanu is looking for war. Bring him, hang him, treasonable felony. This is a pastor, his name is Professor Isa El-Buba Sadiq. The same thing I said. The same thing Roman Catholic priests said. May God bless them. Roman Catholic bishops. The same thing that our dear brother Malafia said on Crossfire interview. Ex-CBN governor. The same thing that I said 5 years ago. Do you know those that asked for me to be killed were mostly Igbo people? Because I said that we need guns and bullets to defend against what is happening today. Those things have come. They are now happening. And instead of us to face it as an existential threat and deal with it, people are talking about presidency as if they are drunk, as if they are foolish. As if they are foolish. I don't understand these people, honestly. I don't. And I keep asking, the same road that Zik and Nnamdi took that led to the massacre in Nimbo and also one is the same route you want us to take again. They've learned nothing from history. Let us listen to this very prophet.
And if the answer is no, that the Constitution of Nigeria has given you the power as a citizen to defend yourself when the aggressor comes in. The question I want to ask everyone of
get it online on your mobile. This is IPOB Community Radio, Radio Biafra, the first and the last.
It's 1 to 5 and poker.
It's M. Josh on the beat.
Oh, yeah, it's time to break loose from the chains. It's time for our freedom. Africa. Cause we can never let them negotiate our freedom. No. Hundreds of years is gone. No Messiah came for the black man. Told us that Jesus died for us, but the black man still they suffer. The truth be said, Africa will rise at the right time, and the time we're waiting for is right now. No one can hold the truth for a long time. Oh no. So stay awake. The sun is risen from the east, and the Messiah you're waiting is right here, and no one is gonna try to stop that. I can hear a great call for justice. Freedom, let the sun rise. Freedom for Biafra. Freedom, free Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, song of salvation. Freedom, let Africa rise. Freedom for Biafra. Freedom, free Nnamdi Kanu. Self-determination is celebrated. Black man seeking for self-determination is a separatist and a terrorist. Yeah. When they jail a black freedom fighter, they jailing African freedom. Don't I have rights to my self-determination? Is that a crime? Oh no. Don't I have rights to live? Don't I have rights to express myself? Don't I have rights to speak? Can't I complain if I'm marginalized? There's genocide in the land that nobody even cared about. Even when I try to speak, my voice is muted every time. I'm like a slave in my land, I can't take it anymore. I apply. I can hear a great call for justice. Freedom, let the sun rise. Freedom for Biafra. Freedom, free Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, the song of salvation. Freedom, let Africa rise. Freedom for Biafra. Freedom, free Nnamdi Kanu. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Freedom for Biafra. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Freedom Africa.
Jewishness.
Me come from the eastern side. Me come from the motherland. Them are trying to prove to me I don't know where I'm coming from. For Japan's then cause I know my roots. I know fit to lose the love for them. I'm unstoppable, my people unstoppable. We keep on moving forward. We keep on grinding, grinding. Yeah. Freedom for my people. Freedom. Freedom for my nation. Freedom. Free Mazi and Kanu. Freedom. Freedom for my people. Freedom. We have gone a long way. No going back. We are too big to fall. No. Nothing fit to stop us. My people demand freedom. Should be a crime to ask for your right. Ask for your right. I will take it, let me alone. We know they do the same thing. We know they go the same way. We don't carry the same language for matter. Free me, make I do my thing. Freedom for my people. Freedom. Freedom for my nation. Freedom. Free Mazi and Kanu. Freedom. Freedom for my people. Freedom. No. Yeah. We don't pay for the struggle. Yeah. So many people don't go there for the struggle. It's hard time to get our right. All we have for our freedom. We can never stop. Biafra is a spirit. Let me soon away the flag. Freedom for my people. Freedom. Freedom for my nation. Freedom. Free Mazi and Kanu. Freedom. Freedom for my people. Freedom.
My people, listen. I am that I am. I will bless whoever blessed you, and I will curse whoever cursed you. War against the kingdom of darkness that stands against God's people of Biafra. The more you try to stop us on this united movement, the more we unite with more great people, and more real brave people keep multiplying up. Revolutionary blast the Babylonians, for the Biafrans came from Israelite. Tell us how this Ababa came from. Destroy the invention. Make sure you destroy every being that stand as destruction obstruction. Damn the demon incarnate hiding under the umbrella of American and British world power. The blasphemous. Babylonian surprised how we survived the strike of 1967. Bomb bullet the project. It's hardcore Biafran striving for heaven with psychological object. You can't stop the revolutionary strive to meet your life from generation to generation just to fly. But we bring you down with the Biafran necktie. Testify, bonify, 45 Biafran rose with the tools to blow. We've beyond perspective point, consuming so many history books. As the years took for us to trace the truth to the roots, they used to roost the home of the brave. Cause we were blinded with white men lies they imposed on our region. We were civilized with the Jewish religion before the white men disease came to Black Gold Kingdom. With their demons they chain our freedom. We took fortitude for all the pains we passed through. The era of slavery to date bondage. General Dumegu Dike Ojukwu, greatest in charge of all time, retired but never get tired of the struggle he took. Prophet Nnamdi is anointed with the struggle. More nothing to lose. Let the era of IPO be burned till they're all gone to see them no more. Back in the days when I was blind like you, struggling for better days hope. Used to hide from cops to smoke in the cemetery with my infantry friend dying in conspiracy insurgency. Now time is necessary to pray with my brethren in the territory, for the nation of Biafra must be restored. For our enemies don't deserve the love, for so many scores execute raw. The only language Ishmael lineage understood is shedding of blood. Soon the angels saw will descend on Babylonia, and the arena of bastard saboteurs trying to be heroes, but they're going down zeros. IPO became with unused skills, broke the code on the globe like virus on control. You don't even know. We spoke and poke out your indigenous people already say no to ethanol and tobacco. White men blood. Our soul have reconciled with our God for the Biafran exodus. For IPOB don't go for illegal money when their brothers' eye closed like those hanging out late night like ghosts with useless hope, waiting for brown envelope to kiss your brother's souls. Like when the Biafran fighting Cold War, white Britain shipping Biafran black gold. Or Juanes and Dig, but mine is dynamic. You will never know who love you the most, and that's why many made wrong choice when presenting them roles. We are untouchable, unstoppable, unseparable folks. We must cross to our promised land of blessing and riches. You can die, rest in pieces, you snitches. Saved by the indigenous witches, for we got a key. Time has come that the land soil will reject you all and your dead bodies. We believe on nobody but Tetragrammaton. For this is the end of Islamic Zoological Republic of Nigeria. It's become the throne of demons since the amalgamation. All the families have soldiered up on the Papa Green land, on Black Boot and Touche. Don't use skills, soldier up, ever ready to go. For they've wake up dead people from sleep of no return till we get it done. Like a revenge of America of September 11, when God of Israel had a departed soul petition from heaven. So shall he digest it through the hardcore Biafran squad.
The way they treat us like a stranger in a fatherland. In a good day, calling on the global world. It's not danger. The way they treat us like a stranger in a fatherland. In a good day, calling on the global world. Make way for Biafra.
We suffer multicultural slavery, full ownership to the new world. Britain came in, the game changed, more horrible. Introducing Biafra to ethanol, alcohol, damaged body system, and tobacco, nicotine causing cancer. Biafra nation was established by Lord Afra, 8500 BC. And Britain came in, destroy our ecosystem king. Lord Lugard will kill our fathers to amalgamate us with Nigeria contraction to be Muslim since 1914. 1929, killing of about women riot. For so long they have been killing Biafrans till date. Britain brought MSTX to deceive. All they done for us is to trace our origin back. They don't give a fuck about our hurt, rather value Biafran world. Don't bomb babies were beheaded, lynched in the street, set ablaze in their homes. Children taken from school and executed with impunity. And guests were taken from their schools to leprosy. And other people with other diseases keep raping them. Beheaded pregnant women were chipped to death, and their unborn babies taken out of their stomach and killed as well. Men and children of all ages were thrown into the well of less bread, steady screaming, crying for help, but the rest of the world act deaf. The British and Nigerian government fill up dead to 40 food with heavy stones. Some were forced to eat feces and drink urine with no hope. They bombed civilians in the hospitals, markets, churches, and at their homes. Biafra homeland became a rain of skulls and bones. The ever worst war crime in the whole world after the Jewish Holocaust. Still the blood wasn't enough for the beast warmongers. British sent troops with warplane mortars, grenades, executing innocent blood of Ayakorome in brutal cancer. Currently 4 weeks Buhari inaugurated. He used helicopter and napalm bomb Akwa Ibom coast using AK-47 war guns shooting Calabar people in the night. All Nigerian armed forces execute IPOB in Aba in Oiwacha in Onitsha main bridge in Nkpo. Abakaliki Idoma land never be exceptional. They rouse and execute many communities in Enugu. 30th May Memorial Day of Fallen Heroes turn bloody. They broke into the churches with no respect to God. Start arresting and executing people, raping Biafra women. Using Boko Haram trained by Saudi Arabia among their 84 terrorist group. And America did nothing at all. So many unforgiving sin till thy kingdom come. We will never forget this till thy kingdom come. For the properties the seized, giving us 20 pounds. After warfare, for the welfare of our world, they ripped in pieces. Sending us to open new market in the forest with 20 pounds. Now you call it Alaba International Market. An updated Britain who were past and present against Biafra seceding. Now fought and gotten India succeed from European Union. American state who support freedom of speech only on the lips to black people. Biafran came looking for freedom. We realized American Britain kingdom are ruled by incarnates of demons. No surprise American give the logic to those behind the scopic who make the mechanic plot execution of scores of 1967 unique people. I know many won't understand it, like magic from aquatic. Take and listen to one of my speech brethren, or make it so very stop corporate news lying to you and your children. Do you ever thought how Islam came into existence? Do you ever thought how Islam came into the place you were living? Do your memory ever reconnect you how your grandfather's religion was raised? They execute many black skulls before imposing Islam into African region. Out of fear, many souls were submissive to Islam religion. So many souls Muslim rule. Got people real fool about it, referring your system Islam religion. It's ever lied told before that Islam is a peaceful religion. This is a paradox they use to cripple Turkey and to see Africa as a land of monkey to mockery. My papa told me Biafran story, so shall I tell my unborn kids about the worry. Watching Biafra documentary issue, reminiscing tears as the years took. Ever gone, it's over if you don't believe worship a tetragrammaton. You don't deserve to sleep with Biafra Kakadonis. For the Biafran till we're gone. Look how you treating my people is too bad. Why you really acting like you too late? Look how you treating my people is too bad. Why you really acting like you too late? Look how you treating my people is too bad. Why you really acting like you too late? Look how you treating my people is too bad. Why you really acting like you too late?
The way they treat us like a stranger in a fatherland. Hey, no good day. Only on the global world. The way they treat us like a stranger in a fatherland. Hey, no good day. Calling on the global world. Make way for Biafra.
I know I can't speak like you all, but you all understand me well. For the black people hemisphere, you soak in the red, and you sleep comfortable on bed. Soon the reward of death will visit you all from hell. For the petition of people you sent to the grave, have answered by God of the braves. Caught you all of a worry bird memory of imperialism, slaveryism, colonialism, religion, terrorism. Ever since the end of Biafran defense war, agreement was made, no victor, no vanquish. Promises was made for Nigerians to build infrastructure and rehabilitation for Biafrans. But when Biafran came for late redemption, Nigerian government gone. This picture is never wrong. They don't want us to live on. They thought all the hard cores are dead gone, but they get it wrong. Nnamdi Kanu overthrown the white and black man dragon with 50 million resurrected hardcore Biafrans with machine guns. Testify ready to die even they keep the bullet fly. For we have born raised in the bomb era condemned by the Catholic Church. We understood the mystery behind such, but to rather unite IPOB meant much for our souls sold not for gold. For so long constantly searching for knowledge from a distance. Instantly wisdom was there before civilization came into existence. You can reason up the circumstance why Biafran from ages always stand famed for resistance. Through our system of transistence persistence. Even though most of us locked up in the cage like Roman Empire details before technology came to mankind knowledge. The Roman Empire under Illuminati one goal, stole God religion and painted it illusional. Made people wallowing in the bloody satanic ocean of fire. So much unwaste damages to date. Nobody give a fuck about by protecting my race. So I hold on with AK on the revolution face to bring down the disgrace. For we gone to school to be nobody's slave. They want us to keep it living dark life. Look around, poor healthcare, no welfare, always warfare against us and hemisphere. What unfair, people get disappeared, and the mouthpiece of the sea are living in fear. The rest acting deaf ear on our bloody tears. Our politicians dress us each time they execute our blood with euphemism speech. They have sunk our organic hemisphere with the human blood and destroy our aquatic species with chemicals entitled with aftermath of getting cancer. And our chieftains and elders are blind, telling us to listen to the saga. Conspiracy going on and laid by the inventories. They infiltrate for us to go for war instantly, with none of the children serving in infantry. Religious war is the reason primarily. African territory has become cemetery for terrorism. We are Muslims executing innocent Christians and Jewish mercilessly. And American power did nothing to Saudi Arabia of sponsoring and supporting 84 terrorist group in the era of 24th century. Only sanctioning Russia for Western power to get easy access to all and beyond former USSR geographical territory under their control watch. But we bring the truth out to our people who are still blind of the search, like during the expository essay of the Holocaust of the Jewish. And if you stand in my way of getting freedom through, my tools will blast you so hard it will get next bastard beautiful next to you trying to screw. And I salute to my loyal black boot, to my Biafra revolution crew, standing with my symbolic flag. We Biafra build America. Now people who doesn't know how the basic foundation of United States of America, they migrated from different parts of universal base, enjoying our labor and our sweat faces. And origin people who build Americans still suffering today. Only option left for us is death. But I promise my Biafran pillars to deliver no shiver till they stop calling us niggas. Look how you treating my people is too bad. Why you really acting like you too late? Look how you treating my people is too bad. Why you really acting like you too late? Look how you treating my people is too bad. Why you really acting like you too late? Look how you treating my people is too bad. Why you really acting like you too late?
The way they treat us like a stranger in a fatherland. Hey, no good day. Only on the global world. The way they treat us like a stranger in a fatherland. Hey, no good day. Only on the global world. Make way for Biafra.
Biafra's struggle can never be unrewarded struggle. Remember, after rain, there comes sunshine. I remember for every dark night, there is a bright day after that. So it's afternoon now, but I say good morning to my Biafrans. The sun has risen and shining where there is no light, and that's the symbolic meaning of the sun appearance in the Biafran flag. Do remember, danger is real, but fear is the choice. But don't be victim of kingdom that will never last your freedom. We receive Western education just to know the basics. No mortal can change the past, and no mortal can make the future. You are just an instrument to be used by the Universal King. Remember, just like you have the power to manufacture and control minimum and maximum seconds under your wristwatch. There is someone above your origin, creates and has dominion over you and your strange functional and sectional object you made. So life never comes by chance, it goes to you, a taste. So remain resolute, because when comes confusion, reality becomes illusion. Letter to my Biafrans. The best African revolution ever strategized is the Biafran, one of the world top first-class revolution ever exemplified in the history of mankind, ever known to extend the man. Politics and corruption on the hip-hop industry silent my speech, but Biafra brought back my voice to strike a project on the psychological object. So why trying to blame us? So many lies was told to our brothers and sisters that were sold out to slavery. But I'm here to delegate the truth at the time. We did not land on the white man Plymouth land, but white men landed on black people Plymouth land. So what I'm saying is, we on our own when the white man disease came into our existence, ruined so many souls of the black people. But Biafrans are here one more time to restore the real nomenclature of the real mechanism or framework of the true worship of Yahweh, Chukwokika Abiyama. On this revolution project with no mind to accept evolution anymore. This is not voluntary, but it's mandatory only if you realize who you are and what you are as human being. I think no need to tell the rest of the world that we are blessed with the best. So I have sacrificed my life, Biafra or dead. Biafra! One life! Fuck all y'all. It's time to go home, brothers and sisters. Biafra Kakadoni signing out.
Told you before, anything you hear on Radio Biafra is correct. I told you on this platform that they will come for you. You see, let me tell you one thing that people don't know because you don't know history. I forgive some of you because in your schools, in the zoo, they don't teach you anything. I want some people to actually go and sit down and study the history of Islam. Islam is the only religion that has never stopped growing. Islam is the only religion that has never stopped expanding through militancy and war. Others have stopped, only Islam. Christianity is based on convincing people, telling them about the message of hope and restoration of Yahweh Yeshua. Of course, immensely corrupted, that we know for sure. But Islam believes in expanding through war, and that war is coming. Now, I must be put on record, and which I can play it all the time for our people to also understand and listen very carefully. And I will say it tonight. And if you come to me in the future, I'll refer you to the broadcast of the 8th of June 2015. And that I made this very comment I'm about to make now at precisely 10 minutes to 8 p.m. in the evening. If ISIS comes down into the zoo, of course they are part of Boko Haram anyway. If they fought, not if they, because they have forged an alliance already, if they launch any attack with the name of ISIS on the zoo soil, if you come to us to give us weapons, I will decline it. I will allow them to kill all of you before we mount any counteroffensive. Let me tell you one thing that you don't understand. Some of you claim you went to school, but you didn't go to school. Because if you went to school, you will understand how Islam works. Islam is coming for you. They must come for you. It's a M-U-S-T, must. There is nothing anybody can do about it. Only you can defend yourselves. This headline here is a confirmation if you need one. Atiku Abubakar said it yesterday. Today is being confirmed that ISIS is coming. Not just Boko Haram, but the real bad people that are coming. They need access to the oil, and they will get it to secure their financial base for their continued expansion within the whole of sub-Saharan Africa. The zoo is seen as pivotal, and Biafra land is where the resources that they're looking for is lying in. They don't trust Buhari anymore. Buhari was their godfather, they no longer trust him. I mean Boko Haram in this instance. Buhari, they thought, would give them Sharia immediately. Buhari saying, I don't belong to anybody. From that day, they intensified their bombing. Some of you cannot reason, you cannot see very well because you're blind. But at least you're lucky. You're listening to Radio Biafra. Very, very lucky indeed. I'm telling you the truth. Or else, I can't in your blindness. It is that darkness we've come to shed light on, that you can see properly. If they enter the zoo, I will not command this army. And I need guns and I have the men. I need guns and I need bullets. That's all we need. And then we win. I have been sounding this warning. I've been telling you, you think we are joking. They are coming. Your mothers will be raped. Your sisters will be married off as slaves. I'm telling you that now. Right as I speak, write it down. Biafra land will be decimated unless we equip this army to defend us. If we don't equip our army to defend us, in other words, if we don't march this year, it will be very difficult for us to recover. Forget all this nonsense. All these so-called pro-Biafra groups you're saying, HAUSA brought them out to confuse you. HAUSA brought them out. That is why they cannot say what we are saying or do what we're capable of doing. These are HAUSA groups, and you are not listening. You are not listening, because the devil has gone into all these idols that you worship. The devil has gone inside you to harden your heart, to blind your eyes that you can no longer see. That day I will tell you to remember the broadcast of the 8th of June 2015. I will tell you to go back to it. I need guns and I need weapons. If I don't have guns and bullets, the army of Biafra cannot defend your towns and villages. The sooner you get that into your thick skull, the better for everybody. You are black people, you don't reason, I know that for sure. But the sooner you take this very message seriously, the better for everybody. Or else you're finished. ISIS is coming. They will enter the zoo and Chad very, very shortly. Not as Boko Haram, they are coming in as their franchise and as their name dictates. ISIS is coming. If you like, you make haste while the sun is shining, or if you like, you can continue to be dumb and stupid. That is entirely up to you. I won't be there, but you'll be dead anyway. And Radio Biafra will not report it, and nobody will. If you like, you give us guns. If you like, you don't. We are trying to save you, not you saving us. We continue.
Biafra worldwide phone call campaign alert continues. BBC, a propaganda machine and racist media set up by the Great Britain to oppress the oppressed people of Biafra. BBC, your media war propaganda of 1967 that led to the genocide of over 3.5 million Biafrans, men, women, and children, did not stop us. Do you know why? Because we are the sons and daughters of the great lion from the tribe of Biafra. Our minds are made up. Your shenanigans, antics, and fake gutter media will not stop us either. We must and shall restore Biafra. Biafra worldwide phone call campaign alert continue. Now pay close attention. Be polite when you call BBC and use the following prompt when you call. Hello, my name is. You tell them your name. I am calling to ask about BBC policy of propaganda against the victims of genocide. Since you are obsessed with telling lies about Biafrans, here are 5 more questions to consider. Now, this is the question to ask BBC. We are witnesses to BBC racist coverage of terrorism, implying that black Africans' lives don't matter. Yet the same BBC rallies the whole world at the slightest terrorist incident in the United Kingdom. Here is the second question. But when it comes to Nigeria, BBC not only hides terrorist killings, but they slander the victims and survivors of terrorism and genocide. The third one. When will the grand patrons of lies and hypocrisy, the BBC Fake News Network, make a documentary about the daily slaughtering of Nigerians by Fulani terrorists and the government of Nigeria, whom you protect so that London may plunder Biafran's resources? The fourth question. Is the oil and gas of Biafra the reason that BBC is obsessed and terrified by the agitation for freedom by the victims of 400 years of British colonial thievery and crimes against humanity? And the fifth one, we call on the good people of the world to ask BBC and UK government why it aids and abates the genocide in Nigeria by spreading lies, propaganda, and disinformation against Biafran freedom fighters. BBC, we know that you are United Kingdom government agents of imperialism with no modicum of shame. Take down your wicked, fake documentary against the victims of genocide and stop your sadistic meddling in the lives of black Africans. Now pay close attention. This is the time to call BBC. You can call them 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Biafran time. Date 4th of July to 30th of September 2022. Now grab your pen and paper and pay close attention. You can call BBC switchboard on this number +44 2087 438,000. I repeat, +44 208 743 8000, or you can tweet at BBC News. You can also call BBC Customer Service +44 3700 100 222. I repeat, +44 3700 100 222. Or you can also tweet at BBC Press. I have not finished. You can also call BBC Studios Limited +44 208 433 2000. I repeat, +44 208 433 2000. You can also email BBC News Channels at bbc.co.uk. BBC, we shall vanquish. BBC, do you know why? Because we are Biafrans.
Windows and curtains, green lights every building. When I think about how blessed we are.
People, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this very planet, we welcome you once again to another very exciting edition of Radio Biafra live presentation on this very day, Wednesday, the 1st day of July, in the year of our Most High Elohim, Chukwuka Biama Pruminyan in 2020. The time now is precisely 7 minutes past 7 p.m. in the blessed land of Biafra, and by the same number of minutes past the top of the hour, regardless of where you are domiciled, irrespective of where you are living, across the entire 24 time zones of this very world, people are tuned in, they are listening to this very presentation this evening, this very gospel of hope, a gospel of truth, a gospel of restoration, a gospel of freedom, a gospel of emancipation, not just for Biafrans, not just for every ethnic nationality trapped in the damnable zoological republic. It is for the entirety of Africa and also black people wherever they are. If you wish to be free, you must be able to discern, you must be able to reason, you must be able to possess a little bit of common sense. If you don't have any of those things, you're finished, and there is no way you can be free this evening. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to some of you. Encourage those who are around you to get closer, to listen with you. If they cannot listen via the same platform that you're on, please direct them somewhere else, because we are on FM in Biafra land, we are on satellite, we are on various apps, we are also on YouTube as well, People are streaming this very content right across social media this precise moment, because everywhere is at a standstill. They know when they listen to us, they will hear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, because we maintain very scrupulously so that we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. We have come to restore Biafra, and that Biafra must be restored in our time. We are going to do, we are doing, and will continue to do everything humanly possible to ensure that Biafra is restored. Our enemies are wasting their time. Our enemies know that they are bruised. We are fighting a multifaceted war on many fronts, and we are winning all of them. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. I am the director of Radio Biafra and the director of Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of the Most High God, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. I will not take your time any further. We shall proceed to pray, after which we shall delve into the substance of tonight's presentation. If you know you are of a weak constitution, this is not a program, this is not a broadcast for you to listen to, because here we shall speak the truth, because here we don't have any space for reformed saboteurs, because a sabot can never be reformed. It is in their bone marrow, it is in their blood. Once the time comes, they will begin to fall out of the woodwork. That is why there is no pity for all the traitors. There won't be any. It doesn't matter how many there are, there will be no pity for them. If they like, they can go and align themselves, not just with the Sultan of Sokoto, not with Harewa, not with Miyeti Yala. If they like, they can go to Taliban and form alliance with them. If they prefer, they can go to Al-Qaeda and form alliance with them. Insofar as this very march is concerned, insofar as we are marching into our God's own promised land, the land of Biafra, there is nothing the enemies can do. Absolutely nothing. And very soon we shall show them. Very, very soon and imminently, we are going to make them understand that the land belongs to us. If you are not afraid of the truth, then you listen to us. If you are afraid of the truth, then quite frankly, you have no business listening to us. Because here we preach the gospel truth. We don't give a damn who is concerned or who is adversely affected by it. As long as it is the truth, that is what we are here to preach. We must pray. And I will pray in the language of heaven, if you will permit me. Ezi onye nwanyị na Chineke na nke pụrụ m ihe niile, onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-efe, onye mbara igwe na-egosi ọlụ aka ya, onye na-adịgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-achị, n'ihi na ndị Igbo Osinachi bụ eze. Anyị were aha dị etu a wee na-abụ ụmụ anyị, n'ihi na onye ọbụla gị na-abụ eze ebube dị ngọzi, egwu adịghị atụ ndị dị etu a. Anyị were IPOB wee nyefee gị n'aka eze ebube dị ngọzi, wee were ezinụlọ Biafra n'ụwa niile wee na-eche n'iru gị, ka amara gị na ebere gị wee zuo oke n'ime ndụ anyị, ka ị wee gosi anyị ụzọ nke eziokwu gị, ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ n'otu n'otu. N'ihi na ọ nweghị onye ọbụla eji ama atụ si na ọbịa yiri gị eze ebube dị ngọzi. Akwa ọbịa mere ụmụ gị bụ ụmụ Chineke, anyị anaghị efe arụsị. Onye nwe mbi n'igwe, biko anyị anaghị eme ihe ọbụla aka mere nna nke ebere dị ngọzi, n'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị kote onye na-asọpụrụ niile n'uru. Onye nwe anyị bi n'igwe, eze ebube, nna ndị ụmụ ogbenye, onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ onye kere ihe niile ekere eke, mana ọ onye kere ya. Lekwa ka ebube gị si wee sachi ihe niile nke ikere eke. Lekwa ka ịma mma gị si wee zuo oke n'ime ndụ ndị gị. O nweghị ihe ọbụla nke anyị ji. Anyị enweghị egbe, anyị enweghị ma anyị enweghị ụta, anyị enweghị ego, mana ọ bụghị na-edu IPOB n'ụwa niile. Aha wee na-ehi ndụ ndị ebe niile ụwa sọpụrụ. Onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna, ọ bụghị site n'ihe nke mmadụ dị ndụ mere, ọ bụ site sọsọ na ebere gị, na amara gị na ọmịiko gị, na ịhụnanya gị ebe ndị gị nọ. And you will not go for hands on you when I tell them when you told you. Now, so, brother, the candy more is when they pay you when I'm careful. Now, you don't want to put it in the like it in like this. I guess I want to go say for another chicken and keep it. Here's what the ponders you when they see. National banana you put chicken. Here's no woman that can like bread and go. Oh, brother, cool fair and keep it. And you were not an old banana again, actually, and Robert Lacari. Let it when landing on the Biafra in every Hanover. You went at Never, John. I can't see how another Hanu. Meaning, like a horror listen at Biafra, Agabia, immediately to Agabia, how they are on the way for Biafra. The Harab will need to make a have a medical so good. Bomba can no one in a book what you need, only one at China. You have a book in the tour. Mani ni nebundi wobi tolo biangu ni meri. Ani ni nebundi wete hona nyeben zo potage no. Mburi ne kanye na sen na keden so na ni ge buli ge lo kakani ge buli ge lu. Wan no to nyani ne buli ge lu. Ai na ase ge bit konese bu bede ngozi. Lu to ne na so kuri ne dra han so ge sen bi yeze. Sibene bi ge na wele bi ge. Ise. We must proceed therefore unstoppably this very evening from this very location to preach this very gospel that we have been given to preach. I am sure that some of you brought your pen and your paper with you, and for the Janjaweed, those of you that have not moved on from their slate and their chalk, that you are trying as much as you can at least to graduate into the use of a pencil and a piece of paper. I welcome each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart, and I do like the debate that is raging everywhere. I love debate, I love it, and hopefully one brave soul will abandon the habitation of gossip that is Facebook and meet me live on air on Friday, Chukwu willing. You will come on air and we will debate live. You will co-host the program with me. So it is not an issue of anybody being disconnected. Because I know that the workers of iniquity and idol worshippers, we know that all the forces of darkness are gathering against this unstoppable march of light. But I want to prove it to the whole world, especially to those who are listening, that darkness can never defeat light. That is why I challenge anybody, if you claim you are intelligent, Friday morning, 7 a.m. in the morning on Friday, I will add you on Skype, and you will co-host the program with me. If after that very program, you still regard yourself as a human being, then I will know you are intelligent indeed. But I can assure you categorically, and without any hesitation nor prevarication, that you will not survive it. Nobody can. If you claim you are learned, you come forward. Come lie in me. If you claim you are learned, abandon the realm of gossip that is Facebook. I challenge that very individual. So, from then on in, you will not be able to show your moronic face in public anymore. That is who we are. Some of them say we are arrogant. That is your prerogative. We are the way we are because we are blessed. We are the way we are because we do things that other black people can never ever do. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. We are the way we are because we are IPOB. We are the way we are because we are unstoppable. We are the way we are because Biafra must be restored. It doesn't matter what you do. How you grumble, how you complain, it is inconsequential. The only thing that matters is freedom, and that's what we are pursuing. We have not come here to embellish or to decorate words. Never. If you want that, you go to the British of 1887 to 1960. Or should I say to the British that is remote controlling your useless, hopeless lives till this very day. Some are upset that we insult them, the type of language we use. The type of language we use so that you may be able to reason. Are you not reasoning now? And most of you not now reasoning anymore. But before we go any further, there is a clip that has been played everywhere. It's gone viral. It's been analyzed and interpreted from every dimension. But in keeping with our tradition here, on this hallowed platform, we shall dissect that very video this evening. For the world to know where your problem is coming from, those you should be upset with. Don't be upset with IPOB. You should be upset with your inability. You should be upset with your idiocy not to recognize the dangers in front of you. People are getting upset because of how they are spoken to, not because their mothers are being raped and their daughters abducted. That is what I say about the brain of a black man. It is warped. Everything is always upside down. You are not concerned about people who are being slaughtered. You are concerned about the message, or should I say this, the way the message was delivered to you. That is how foolish some of you are. You are irredeemable anyway. You have been tutored and schooled under a system presided over by Janjaweed Alamajiri. I don't expect most of you to be discerning and to be intelligent enough to take the message and not the way the messenger is dressed. We must proceed. I will play this same video again, please, and I want it to be posted. This same video about what Britain did to most of you, if not all of you. If not all of you. Listen to it very carefully, and then we will be able to analyze it. Because this is where every problem that I have with the brain of a black man is encapsulated in this very video. Everything, every problem that I have with our inability to reason, I keep harping on it all the time. Forget about the semantics, forget about the romancing of the words. We are not here to romance words for you. We are here to let you understand the stupidity you're in and to get yourself out of it. Listen to this. Maybe then some of you will appreciate the degree of the mess you're in.
Mrs. Carol Smith.
Listen.
Thank you. May I say how delighted we are to be on Passion?
The British man with a wife.
To an African television station for decades. This is something we have looked forward to for such a long time, and we are so happy to be here. Thank you.
Mr. Aaron Smith was a young, bright, and principled Oxford University graduate. Oxford was recruited by the colonial office.
The same Oxford that most of them went to, I went to Oxford, I went to Cambridge, I went to Princeton, I went to Harvard. I want you to see, to understand, to appreciate how somebody who is properly educated, I want you to understand their level of consciousness. I want you to understand how people who are genuinely educated, how they speak, how they behave, and the type of conscience that they possess. Unlike most of them in Africa, unlike most of the baboons that claim they went to Harvard, we went to Cambridge, we went to Yale, we went to Princeton. Garbage. All rubbish. This is a white man with a wife. I want you to listen to what this man has to say. Compare it with the level of cowardice and ineffectiveness that you have in the zoo from those that went to the same school that this white man went to. Understand what he's trying to say. And not all of you who are concerned about the way we deliver this message to see where your idiocy comes from. to direct you to where your anger should be channeled to. Not messing about and fapping about on social media. We want you to reason. And until you reason, we will continue to preach this gospel the way we do. Any day you rise up in the morning and you're concerned about the death of your people in Enugu, then I will respect you. Any day you rise up and you're concerned about what the Miyasiala is doing in Ebonyi State, then I will be respectful of your person. Any day you wake up in the morning, you understand that Delta State is gone, then I will respect you. Any day you get up in the morning and you understand that Willie Obiano is an agent of Janjaweed, that day I will respect you. Any day you wake up in the morning, you understand that there is something wrong for somebody to come from a fourth position to be declared the winner by a Fulani Supreme Court, that day I will respect you. Any day you rise up in the morning and get convulsed by what is happening at Lower Panta and now at Oka, where people come from Mauritania, from Mali, from all across the Sahel to Abia State to live in the forest. That day I will have regard for you. Any day you wake up in the morning and you understand the desperation of the Janjaweed jihadists to take over River State, that day I will respect you. Any day you wake up in the morning and understand that those of them from Nigeria, these new people that claim that your friends, whereas all they're trying to do is to put you down, to subjugate you, to enslave you, that day I will respect you. But until that happens, you are a baboon and you are a monkey, you are nothing, you're a pseudo-intellectual, you know nothing, your brains are empty. And that is why you have no electricity, you have no running water, you have no good schools, you have no hospitals. That is why you find solace in hiding under what? The style of the delivery and not the substance itself. That is why you are beneath a human being, and that is why I would rather be friend or be close to a chimpanzee than to be close to any of you liars, deceivers and cheats. All of you, hypocrites. This man went to Harvard. Sorry, he went to Oxford. Many of them went to all these Ivy League universities in Europe and in America. This is how a white man behaves. No matter what you say about what, I remember I told you before that even in Britain there are good people in Britain. I told you that many times that British people on average are conscientious, they are good people. Forget about their government. Listen to this man. This is, should I say, the fulcrum of what we are going to discuss this evening. Listen.
Office and posted to Nigeria. He took his final examination a year ahead of his class. He also married Mrs. Carol Smith, whom he met while they were both at Oxford University. Yes. Together they went to Nigeria, where they had their 2 children. Mr. Smith, he was featured in a program recently by BBC Radio 4 titled Document, and that was hosted by Mr. Mike Thompson. He was alleged that the British government rigged the first and most important election in the history of Nigeria in 1959 in favor of the North. Am I correct? Yes.
Did you understand the question from the interviewer? The interviewer is a black man. Some of you have seen this clip. But in keeping with the brain of a black man, we don't delve into issues, we don't analyze it properly. No, we don't. This man is trying to let you understand the history of rigging in Nigeria. He wants you to understand who brought in rigging. I was watching a black brother in America today, an activist, with his assault weapon and his side pistol. Do you know what he said? A black American, he said, in the main, that black people are innocent and good people. That some white folks introduced evil to them. I want people to understand that had Britain not brought in rigging, Britain. Had they not brought in rigging into the zoo, there would be no rigging today. I want all these pseudo-intellectuals, all these professional petition writers for hire. Any politician that we deal with, he will go and recruit some idiots. 4 or 5 of them to writing rubbish. I want to tell you, all you zoo animals in Nigeria, this is where you should be channeling your anger and your desperation to these people that cause you unbearable pain and suffering, not just for generations before you, but for your children and your children's children, so that you bless your anger properly. That is the thing about black people, they don't reason very well. They don't know how to channel their anger. Somebody came from somewhere, took you away in chains, tied you up in chains, gave you their God, you accepted it. No problem. Somebody is coming and telling you the truth, and you're saying it's an insult. And you're saying that God, those people are worshiping, will not worship it. But somebody came and took you away in chains. I mean, do you see how funny you look? Listen, please.
How long were you in Nigeria for? From 1955 to 1960.
Yes.
And we were based in Lagos.
Yes.
I was on the staff of the Department of Labour. I was largely occupied with employment problems, all the employment exchanges, and statistics, and international reports, and was kept pretty busy. I was also stationed in Lagos in charge of the capital and the port. I was the port labour officer as well, but I also devised the port labour scheme and later a social security scheme, which was one of the first in Africa, which guaranteed workers some income after they'd finished work. It was a provident scheme, as I say, it's called the National Provident Scheme, and I was very proud to have put that on the statute book.
This was the man who brought in pension into the zoo, the way you know pension. If you're a pensioner, if your dad or your mom works for the government and benefited from the pension scheme, this is the man responsible for introducing pension into Nigeria. So you must take what he's saying very seriously. That is why I said that the build-up to it, I have seen people analyze this, but I don't think actually the people don't understand the gravity of this very interview. People don't know how deep it is, because encapsulated within what this man is saying or what he has said in the past lies all your problems. And the fact that you cannot see it is because you're a black person, you cannot see. Your brain is not fine-tuned enough to grasp very salient points when they say it. This is the man responsible for bringing in pension scheme into Nigeria. This very man, Mr. Smith, with the wife, being interviewed by a black journalist. Let's continue.
I was going to ask you what your role is. You've mentioned 3 important. Is there any particular name given to your office while you were there? I was a labour officer, a senior civil servant. Okay. I only intended to stay in Lagos initially for 2 tours of duty. Although because of this conflict with the elections.
Conflict with elections? Please, I want people to listen attentively, please. The only thing I'm doing in life is I just want black people to reason. Even for 1 second, only 1 second, 1 second only. Just listen for 1 second. Forget all your petty envy and jealousy and greed. We'll deal with that later. I just want you to listen and be truthful to yourselves for once, that you may learn what we have learned. That is why IPOB is undefeatable. You cannot. That is why no matter how much you yap your rubbish and write your garbage, if you go back to the house, your wife will ask you, Nnamdi, have you heard what IPOB said today? I want you to pay attention. This very clip I'm playing, this video, is the most important video in the history of Nigeria. It is the most critical. This very video. That's why we must be patient. We will listen. It's about 24 minutes. We will listen to each and every word that comes out of this man's mouth. Very important. Listen, please.
There were difficulties. Actually, government wouldn't let me leave the civil service.
They didn't want you to leave.
They were determined that I should stay in the civil service after my 2 tours. And I was offered very considerable incentives, including a knighthood, to stay and work for government. Primarily this was because I had access to state secrets. I learned, and the government...
He had access to state secrets. So to keep him quiet, they offered him knighthood. Listen, please. What are those secrets that this white man, that is an Oxford-educated white man, is still a top civil servant in Lagos during colonial days? The man who started the pension scheme in the zoo. Why did they offer him bribe of knighthood? Why? What is that thing he knows? Listen.
Governor General himself confirmed this to me, that the elections were rigged.
The elections were rigged?
The intention was that the North should rule Nigeria.
Are you listening? When Tony Blair came, where did he go to the North? Why is it, have you ever asked yourself this question? Why is it anytime there is money for anything, you always go to the North? World Bank, North. The gas pipeline, go to the North. Refinery, Kaduna to the North. Everything to the North. Why? Because Britain wanted the North to rule. Britain wanted the North to rule. By North, I mean Janjaweed, the Fulani. Because they are very stupid and useless and easy to control. They are the only people that abandoned everything, their way of life, their culture, everything, and absorbed everything Arabic to their name. That is, to begin to reel out all the names of the Janjaweed or Minyetiala in high political offices. It sounds as if you're Saudi Arabia, calling out the ministers of Saudi Arabia. Britain understood that with their Al-Majiri rank-added culture, that the foreigners can be controlled. Why was it easier for Britain to control the foreigners? Exactly the same reason the Janjaweed have today over the likes of Mohammed and and the rest of the very greedy pack, I call them, the envious pack. Why? Because there is only one thing you need in life for you to become an agent of an oppressor. You must be an envious bastard. You must be an envious person. Do you know why Britain chose the Fulani? Because the Fulani had a natural hatred for anybody who is educated from the South. For anybody who is a progressive, they didn't want it. There's something now, if you look at everybody that has fallen prey to the march of the Janjaweed to colonize and Islamize the South, all those with a chip on their shoulder, people who are very envious by nature, people who are driven by jealousy. Maybe I don't think I'm making these points very clear. I don't know. Listen carefully, please. It is just like your body. The only way a virus can attack your body is if your body's immune system, your defense system is very weak, either through stress or illness or whatever it is. If your defense mechanism is strong, your antibodies, your white blood cells are very strong, it is bring it on. Any virus that comes will be attacked. The same thing happens in real life. The fertile ground for betrayal must be built on envy, greed, and jealousy. With those three things in place, you are now a prime candidate to be converted, to subvert the will of your people, to sabotage them, and to become a frontline traitor. What the Fulanis were doing was treachery. Treachery not just against themselves, but the whole of Africa as a whole. And Britain was using them to accomplish this. But these idiots, because of their envious nature towards an evil man, towards the South, the entire South, they could not see that what they were doing was counterproductive. This is what I want black people to understand. Blacks don't understand this. They never reason this far. Because anytime you see a black person working against the interests of his people, forget about financial considerations. Of course, that plays a very big part if you're an evil man. Look at the underlying causes. It's always envy. I cannot be like them, so let me work against them. I cannot be like as consistent as IPOB. I cannot be as unbribable as IPOB. I cannot be as gifted as IPOB. So the next best thing for me is I will hate them. And in their state of hate, born out of envy, anytime the Janjaweed comes from the north or from Abuja, a politician comes to them to say, oh, these things they're doing, why don't you fight against them? You see them, they rise up immediately. And they start writing rubbish. Exactly. Britain used it on, I told you before, they used it on the Fulanis and it worked perfectly well. Till today. I keep asking people, where is Aburi? I don't know what is it. They say, we want to restructure. Operator General will restructure. Chinedu will let us restructure. We must restructure to move forward. It was better. And I keep asking this question and nobody wants to answer. Where is the Aburi Accord? Where is it? One of the signatories is alive. You went to a conference, you agreed on something. Go on, where is it? Where is that document? To say all this nonsensical garbage about restructuring, not restructuring. Where is Aburi? Being a typical slavish, moronic black man, of course, and the devil's incarnate that Go on is. Go on is busy. This is a typical black man, busy praying, saying he's praying. Of course, to Lucifer, who is busy praying. Whereas the document that could have solved all the problems is somewhere in his cabinet in his house. Why won't Gowon bring it out? Because Gowon and his people are envious of the industry and ingenuity of a Biafran man. The reason why Aburi was not implemented, I want people all around the world listening to understand. I'm speaking very calmly today. To understand the genesis of our problem, to understand that the way a white man reasons is different from how a black man reasons, and that is why we are the best we are in today. That's for nothing more, nothing less. Because a black man does not see rivalry, a black man doesn't see banter, a black man doesn't see healthy competition. Where there should be competition, oh, let me try and be like him, let me try and be like her. They bring in envy, let me hate them, because I cannot do what they are doing. That's all. As soon as we understand this very simple problem, all of our problems are solved. They used Fulani because Fulani had one thing, then a hatred for the educated South. So Britain felt, people who are schooled in divide and rule, the best thing to do is to give power to illiterates, to cattle wearers. Let them start, so they will mess everybody up. So even the Britain that created the zoo, that is why I call Nigeria a racist construct. Britain that created the monster, the zoo, never had good intentions in the first place. Because if they did, there is no way that somebody preaching democracy, preaching good governance, preaching development and transparency will be actively involved in the rigging of election and in the subversion of the will of the people. Just tell me why they will do it. Why? If not out of let us suppress them. You cannot, a virus cannot attack your body unless your immune system is weak. And what causes weak immune system is stress. Number one, stress. Number one, your immune system is down. Or maybe now 5G mask. And there's a conspiracy theory because South Africa, you see what is happening in South Africa? You need this 5G mask. You will see it weakens your immune system so that when this deadly virus comes, you stand no chance. Go to South Africa. They're forced to launch 5G. Vodacom is on 5G, MTN is on 5G in South Africa, and they are falling like flies. We'll come to that later on. All I want is for black people to reason. If you don't get black people to reason or raise their level of consciousness to a particular level, you can never be free. We can never be free. No matter how hard we try, we can never be free. Because in the Western world, in Europe and in America, even in Japan, in all advanced economies, from kindergarten, from nursery school, they begin to teach them their rights. And after teaching them their rights, they'll tell them that don't allow anybody to trample on those rights, even if it means defending it with your blood. Do they teach us that? Of course not. Let's continue. Listen.
Even in 56, the northern leaders were very proud and were saying if they couldn't run Nigeria, never mind elections, they might not join Nigeria. They might.
Janjaweed, Ahmadu Bello, Tafawa Balewa, the northern leaders, those preaching to you one Nigeria today. That's why I look at people and I wonder, you know history. Some of you pseudo intellectuals on Facebook, you claim you are learned, you claim you understand history, you claim you are well read. Have you not come across where it was explicitly stated that the North will secede, they will leave, it's called Araba, they want to go. They don't want to be part of Nigeria. It was Nnamdi who would have begged them to be part of one Nigeria. Are you not aware of it? Who is now claiming they are not aware that it was Nnamdi when they allowed them? Who's not aware? Nnamdi was pleading with them, saying, don't go. He wants Britain built an empire called Nigeria. Azikiwe wanted to come and be the emperor. Azikiwe forgot that for an emperor to rule an empire, you must go to war and you must conquer all those places. Not for a foreigner to conquer it for you and hand over. It doesn't happen that way. Have you heard it now? When we cannot allow anybody to secede. You cannot secede. But it was the Fulani, the first people to threaten secession. The Fulani people. That is why I said that this, our people, we don't, unless it is a scandal or gossip, people don't watch videos, they don't analyze it very well. Only gossip they are interested in, or comedy. Go back to every problem of the zoo is here. Let's continue.
They might leave. And we all thought, well, how would they survive?
How would they survive?
There's not a great deal of agriculture, some groundnuts in the north. This wasn't very practical at all. And
they had nothing in the north. Some people have forgotten that the reason why. Some people say, they are parasites, they are leeches, they are laying pipe, gas pipeline, crude oil pipeline, refined petrol pipeline to the north. It has been that way from the beginning. They asked the parliament in London asked Frederick Lugard, why are you amalgamating the south and the north? First I said because the north is very poor. They have nothing. Till today they still have nothing. Till now they have nothing. They were agriculture from the north. Granite pyramid, we have seen how they build it. They build a scaffolding on that, and then they pile one bag of granite. This is a white man. He brought in person into the zoo. He knows, he's telling you that the North had nothing. 1956, 57, 58, 59, 60, independence. The people with nothing are asking to be given all the political power. And they got it. Those with all the resources in the South, both natural and human. Those who went to school in the South, running the government, the something that's happening today. They force certificates in the north. They do not. I'm sorry to say enough. They force their certificates. They don't go to school. Even the houses of parliament in their so-called House of Reps and Senate, you hear it every day. Do that make sense to anybody? Do that make sense to anybody? But I was ruling you because that was how Britain planned it. Why did Britain plan it that way? Because they don't want to see a black country develop. They don't want it. They prefer to be giving you Oxfam. We got you 2 million pound aid. They prefer the handout. You know, they want you to be the beggar. They want to play God. They are better than you. You are nothing. You are black. You are useless. You are on the ground. You can never aspire to anything good. So don't worry. We take everything you have and then we give you a bit of grant, a bit of aid. We give you 1 million to Ivory Coast, maybe 2 million to Togo, 3 million to Northeast. A black man can never see it. Try that thing in the West. Who can ask somebody passing outside, oh, please come and eat? They'll tell you to fire you there. Why don't you come to my house to eat? Why must I come to your own to eat? Who are you to belittle me? The more you belittle black people, the more they love it. And we are telling you here on this platform, don't allow yourselves to be belittled. If you say what we are preaching as an insult, it means you're a complete idiot. You don't know. People came from Arabia, Arabs. They put chain around your neck. When I preach it now, they say it is religious phobia. You idiots don't know anything. Because of your stupid sensibilities, you can no longer preach the truth. If I say the truth, because of political correctness, I will try to sidestep it. You are mad. You are insane. They came from Arabia to take us as slaves. They put sticks around our neck. By the time we finished that experience, we became Muslims. Europeans came with glittering chain, tied us around. Go and watch the Amistad. Go and watch. All of you should go and watch it. You will shed tears. By the time they finished with us, we became Christians. That is the truth. You can hide it however you like. You can massage it however you like. You can cry over it if you like. That's your business. But the truth of the matter is that typifies the brain of a black man. That is why we are not developing until we acquire a heightened level of reasoning and consciousness. We can't come out of this mess. What you're suffering today, we are fighting for Biafra. Britain made it so. Britain never wanted Biafra to emerge. Never, they don't want Biafra. Why? So that the black man can have industries and have schools and hospitals. They don't want that. They want to feel big, that's big. Oh, how much aid do you give to them? How many aid workers do you have in Ghana? How many aid workers do you have in the Chad region? They love it to play God. Looking at sickly, emancipated African babies. You're taking care of them, feeding them from feeding bottles. They love it. Hey, they are God. But you are the problem. An average black person is the problem. They don't understand medication intended to heal them. Somebody can put poison in Ribena, or in honey. It tastes so sweet. As you're taking it, you're dying. If we ask you to stop taking it and take quinine, take something that is bitter, take the water you get from bitter leaf, it's very medicinal. You don't like stupid, I don't want to drink it. Oh, give me that honey. The Oyibo will come feeding you honey, laced with poison, and you're dying slowly. And IPOB will come with Nchamuta, scented leaf, apple, highly medicinal. And ask you to take it, you'll be alive, you'll get well. You say, no, it's too bitter. I want sugar, please. Bring me honey, bring me sugar. That is what is happening. Nothing more, nothing less. Let's listen to the truth, please.
And then it was, the Governor General seemed to be thinking that the North couldn't, even if it won an election, rule Nigeria by itself. The South wouldn't stand for that. So there had to be a partner, either the Igbos in the East or the Yoruba in the West, to team up with the North. What he didn't want was for the two southern parties, the Igbo and the Yoruba, to team up to form the government.
Britain never wanted Oduduwa and Biafra to be together. Never from day one. The reason why I say that this is the most important video in the history of Nigeria is because it contains everything. Now you can understand all the whole South nomenclature, Niger Delta garbage. You can understand all that foolishness, where it's coming from. I've asked this thing before. A few weeks ago, I reeled out all the names of the ethnic nationalities in the North. Some of you were shocked. There was not one single minority commission in the North. The reason why Britain saw it, the reason why they advised to go on, please, they create river states, create cross river states, they call them, was because they understood the essence of divide and rule. Britain realized they were the one that instigated Awolowo to fight against Azikiwe in a battle. They knew that once Oduduwa and Biafra are together, that there will be progress. So Britain never wanted it to happen. Never, very impossible. They went and they gave money to their agents. They are jealousy-driven, envious people to instigate trouble. And Awolowo came overnight and said, you know what Awolowo said? I said, you will please go back to your land. Ibadan is for your people. Go back to Igbo land and do your politics there. That was where Britain won. To your tent, O Israel. And when everybody went back to their tent, Britain now said, because the North has a bigger land mass, let's give it to them. This is how they're playing ping pong with your brain. And what concerns you is IPOB. They're insulting. The way they insult us. IPOB wants you to reason properly, so you can be free. But you prefer the poisoned honey, isn't it? To the bitter quinine that will kill you. Typical black people. You see why you say we insult you? We don't insult you. We lay it out so you can see it. So your stupidity can be made very plain. We simplify your ignorance so you can see it. Let me say, it's like a one kitchen. You know, stupidity comes in various shapes and sizes and colors. We lay it out for you on the table so you can pick the one that you like. You hide behind your petty envy and jealousy. You say, they insulted my village, they insulted my town. Come out and tell us that I'm envious of what people are doing because we cannot do it. So I'm envious. You are a black person, so envy is a part and a passion of your essence, of your being, of your soul. That is why you are poor. That is why some of you are listening tonight with a generator. But the Elohim, he gave you sunlight wall to wall. You have sunlight, you have rivers that can be dammed to turn a turbine to generate electricity. Don't you? Have you asked yourself, how do submarines move in the sea? Nuclear power submarine, how do they move? Even before then, how did they power submarine in the seas? They use common battery. It's called deep cycle batteries. An ordinary battery can power an entire town. But yes, battery, ordinary battery. All this knowledge is available. It's even there on the internet. But to put it together to create something you cannot, because you spend your time looking for who insulted you and who didn't insult you. The person that came with a chain, put it around your neck, told you that Angoreka is not a good name. Ngozi Chukwu is not a good name. But Benita is a good name, you accepted. They enslaved you in such a way that you became a nuisance to your own self. And we have come to untangle. So, do you think it's going to be easy? Have you seen where somebody actually underwent surgery before or had an accident and they have this all over? And you're going to remove the piece of fiber of clothing that is stuck on the wound. Isn't it very painful? Very painful. What we are doing is painful. We know it's painful, but it's for your own good. It's for your own good. Are you happy that clean our people? Are you happy that somebody that didn't go to school is presiding over your affairs? Do you know the amount of looting that is? I'm going to do that separately. I think the 2 weeks is up. On Sunday I'll do the Olisamitu expose. on the amount of criminality going on in this zoo. Some of you don't know. This is the worst government ever in the history of humanity. And you want me to be nice to you? In your stupidity, I think you're dreaming. Let's listen to this educated man, please.
Because he believed the North wouldn't tolerate that and talked about leaving.
The North cannot tolerate Oduduwa and Biafra together. The North will not tolerate Yoruba and Igbo man coming together. Never, ever, ever. The Fulani has a mission started by the British. The British said to the Fulani, you should never allow them to come together. That was why the North is the door for a Christian Oduduwa leader, that there may be room for maneuver. After the so-called handshake across the Niger, not this one, the one that Chobokadibo did many years ago. But some of you don't read history, so you don't know, but we'll tell you. The original handshake across the Niger was initiated by Chobokadibo. After that meeting, the Fulanis went into closed-door meeting as well and decided, if we are going to allow any Yoruba man to emerge, it has to be a Muslim Yoruba. Sorry, Muslim Oduduwa. Muslim. So that's where that person will always be loyal to the Sultan of Sokoto. Now, are you following? Are you following what I'm teaching you this evening? Because what we tell you here, you can never get it anywhere else on this planet. Pure truth. If you go up and down, some are so up and down, you know it's the truth. They know. And for us, they are listening right now. They know it's the truth I'm preaching. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows. So don't allow your petty village envy. You can't be like us now. I'm a man, you can't be me. You didn't you're not learned. We went to school, we didn't go to school. So how can they defeat us in a debate? How is that possible? I ask you. We are not being proud or, boastful. It's a fact of life. You cannot. If you come with if you be obliterated in 5 minutes. That's how we teach the way we do. So that you can know what we know. Fulani doesn't want it. That is why whenever they see an alliance forming between Oduduwa and Biafra, they will go and pay their Iraqs more. They recruit more Yoruba journalists. They start to write garbage. But the Yoruba idiot writing this crap to destabilize the Oduduwa Biafra alliance thinks he's doing himself a favor. The same reason why Aisha's boyfriend is in Asarok. Everybody knows that man there is not. Who doesn't know? Everybody knows that. We all know. But ask yourself this question: why is it that a country of a contraction as you say of 200 million people cannot rise up one day and say enough is enough? Ask yourself that question. Why? Why is it in the interest of some people that Aisha and her boyfriends and all these idiots that remain in power to 2023? And you ask yourself why that is the case. Why is that saying you will still retain power in 2023? Have you actually sat down to ask yourself why that is the case? No, you have not. And how can you? Listen.
In the Federation. So as I learned, in a small way at first, but very rapidly I learned about the election fixing. And as I say, this was...
Election fixing is election rigging. And who rigged the election? The first proper election in Nigeria was rigged. It wasn't rigged by INEC or FEDECO. It was rigged by white people, by Britain. Britain wanted to teach you how to be corrupt. Britain wanted to teach you how to be corrupt. They wanted to teach you corruption. You see what they do? They want to put it in you. And since that day, has there been any free and fair elections today? No. That is why when you go to them, they will write their report. They will say, we went there was a few problems in 2 or 3 polling stations, but it wasn't significant enough to affect the overall results. Every 4 years, that is, if you want me to give the report of 2023, I'll give it to you. If you want me to give you the report of British electoral observers and EU in 2023, I'll give it to you now. what he's going to say is this. We witnessed some violence, some ballot snatching, and a few people who were disenfranchised, but overall, it wasn't significant enough to affect the outcome of the election. End of story. Like, what is today's date? Today's date is the 1st of July. The time now is 4 minutes past 8 p.m. in the evening. In 2023, Biafra will be gone by then. 2023, I will bring it out then and I'll play it again for you people. Or for my try and save this. Their report, I'm telling you, the EU and the British observers, their report in 20, I'm telling you today what I'm going to say in 2023. We witnessed violence, people were killed, houses were burnt, properties destroyed. But overall, it wasn't serious enough to impact the outcome of the election. And they put another full of with them. That's how they do it.
Was confirmed to me by the Governor General. He actually said that he wanted me to know the truth because he wanted me to know how much trouble I was in.
You mentioned statistics, you are collecting figures. Is that for labor and unemployed people only, or
primarily? But obviously my interest was in the population of Nigeria. Yes, and a while ago, the leader of the action group and Chief Enaharo, they too, other people were saying, where are all these millions of people in the north? Where are they? We're going up there to campaign. We want to know, And you see all these, thousands of miles of not very developed countryside, and yet the Northerners are claiming that their voting registration figures are larger than in the South, larger, far more people up there. Well, actually, if you went through the Igbo land, Enugu and that, you saw lots and lots of people.
Are you listening? A white man, or you go British, is saying that in the north it was sparsely populated. Listen carefully again. I don't know why the people go, hey, God, these black people, black. Hey. Do you know what the white man said? The white man said that other politicians were worried about the high number of figures coming from the north. And who are those people, Biafrans again? Because we see things before it happens. The same way that people never voted for Buhari from day one, because we knew the man was bad news. But Oduduwa, out of spite, went behind our backs and voted for Buhari in 2015 to put us in this mess now. The same thing happened before. Instead of Awolowo and the Nahoro to say these figures, because the Biafra politicians then realized that eventually it will come down to numbers. They were campaigning. Look at the numbers from the north. Awolowo did not listen. This is not from Nnamdi Kanu, from a white man. Awolowo did not listen. Nahoro did not listen. And today, that anything you like, you can do. The north is more populated than the south. Anything you like. This man said, I came to Enugu. There were so many people in Enugu, it's untrue. Unlike the north. Let me tell you. How many are you in Enugu? In broad daylight. Go. All the rest is yapping rubbish. Let's listen.
If you went to Ibadan, Ibadan teeming with millions of
people in Ibadan.
But we didn't actually see many Northerners, and obviously not many Northerners at that time came to Lagos. So this did arouse suspicion. Now, the Europeans, not stupid, we are watching what's going on in Nigeria, and we too are beginning to feel there's something not quite right here. That maybe the elections are not going to be as straightforward as they're meant to be. Nigeria was being described as the showcase of democracy, and it was expected that the nationalist leaders would win through. But actually, when the election results were announced by the Governor General, before the vote was even in,
the British Governor General 1959 announced the result before the ballots were even counted. And I need people to understand that when people say that the devil is a black man, it's not that that Lucifer is black, or it may be, I don't know. It is that there is this capacity in a black man to always dig out evil where there is good. And something occurred to me this evening before I came on air. Do you know the reason why you have all these idiots from everywhere, even those that have not taken a bath for the past 1 week? They are these fools everywhere. Do you know the reason why you see them all the time? They are yapping rubbish, IPOB, Biafra, everywhere, this and that nonsense. You are not religiously tolerant, all that garbage. Do you know they were sent? It was as soon as I announced that Biafra must come this year, as soon as I said Biafra is coming this year, you can see all of them came out. Because they don't know the plans they are using. All of them, they push all of them. All the Sabo, even closet Sabo, there are saboteurs hiding inside Biafra, claiming they are doing Biafra. The saboteurs inside them. They are now coming out slowly. Sabo, their job is to halt the coming of Biafra in 2020. To give Fulani time to 2023. To perfect everything they are doing, including Ruda. So you don't know. So if you think all this nonsense, they're rude, they're insulting. You think they just came out overnight? No. This avalanche of idiocies, I call it, carefully planned and executed by the Janjaweed. Careful planning. Then, because that day I said that Biafra must come this year, 2020. Hey, all hell, go loose. I want all of you to understand that. That is how they operate. That is the devilish part of a black person. Most of them are evil. Evil. Some of them are telling us, we want Biafra, but not like that. We want it from another corner, we want it from another angle. Ask them how, they don't know. They have no idea. This is how satanic a black person is. Satanic. And the thing about it is that when they are doing all this, they are evil, they think they are right. As soon as I announced the other coming in 2020, hey, they said, are you there? No, are you there? This is going to happen. Upon all the money we gave to you, we have not promised you to please, if I know something, we are planning something for you. All these idiots and the ears, they came out. Every fool, every closet, I call them closet stuff, but there are some people who are traitors. It doesn't matter how many times or how many years you shout Biafra, Biafra. If you're a natural born traitor, you're a traitor. In the end, you will betray. It doesn't matter how long it takes, you must betray. That's what makes them black. These usually black people. Let's listen.
Didn't count for that. Didn't wait for that. I have to tell you, the British were counting the votes, and the British cannot be trusted. They look after their friends.
The British look after their friends, and who are their friends? The Fulanis. Are you following? Fulani is the friend of the British. Don't you know that? Are you not aware of it? Are you not aware of it? I'm asking you. Now you know. And the mistake that some people actually made, the only time we got it right was when our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu was alive. It was only, I wouldn't say I had always known anyway, but it kind of crystallized about a few weeks ago. Left alone to me, since Oduduwa went after Biafra, left alone to me, if I were to be a frontline politician from Biafra land, I will allow the Fulanis to rule forever. I will make sure Yoruba man can never near that seat. Since you want Fulani to rule, let them rule forever. I will rubbish everybody in the process. Now you understand why the likes of what's his name? Nzeribe, said no to Abiola. Not because he wasn't a Democrat, no. A lot of them did it that time in order to remind the Oduduwa people that betrayal doesn't pay. Don't you know that? That's what it is. Here you had a chance to keep Jonathan, who was a very moderate individual. Oduduwa said no because they didn't have enough ministerial positions. Only just to benefit a few families, only that's all. Now everybody's suffering. And have they learned anything? I doubt it. Maybe the newer generation may guide us in the right path. But the old ones know they know nothing. I'm going to tell them, you're insulting. Let this man tell you what. Britain announced the result. It's not, you know, black man always copy evil very easily. All the rigging techniques, Britain gave it to the zoo. To the zoo they created.
Loyalty is the big thing for the British. And we were friends with the emirs of the north.
Britain was friends with the emirs of the north. Emirs of the north. Now you understand it very clearly. Not with you, but with emirs of the north. People are telling me it is that I should also try to accommodate other aspects of our news this evening. British, that was the capital. That is the one to the black camp, they went to the north. Let me tell people one thing they don't know. The world view the zoo, Nigeria, from the lens of Britain. Britain tells you what is happening. After it is their colony, it is their contraction, they created it. So who else is an expert on zoo affairs if not Britain? That is why Britain will go and tell America, oh, please support the North. They will go to EU, oh, support the North. Oh, it's the North, support them. And you and I are suffering. And when we try to remind ourselves that we are suffering, one idiot will go to Facebook or go to Twitter and writing rubbish. Fueled by envy and jealousy. Nothing more, nothing less. To him, servicing his envy and jealousy is more important than being free. He would rather be a very envious, person than to be a free man. That makes him black or he's evil to the core, to the bone marrow. You've heard the man. Some of you don't know. Do you know why Nnamdi went on and became anti-Biafra? Nnamdi was one of the people that composed the Biafran national anthem. If you don't know, let me tell you. He was part of Biafra. If you ask our dear elder, he will tell you. Azikiwe agreed at the point that Biafra should come. Forget about the leadership. And he was blackmailed. They blackmailed him with ACB. I'm sure our dear elder, one of the very few genuine ones, may shed some light on that. He was blackmailed. That was what killed Mazi Bonoji. Bonoji lied to save Zik. That's why Bonoji died at the age of 41. Go and ask. Mazi Bonoji died defending a very corrupt Nnamdi. I don't know why he's bearing my name. Azikiwe. Bonoji took an oath, swore. If you don't know, let me tell you. They blackmailed Azikiwe. They told him, if you don't support one Nigeria, we'll expose all the documentation you had, all the loans you took from Africa Continental Bank that you never paid back. He said, okay, I have to agree. Now, do you see why they tried to blackmail me? And I said, no. I love it anyway. I love when I'm being talked about in whatever way, in whatever shape, whatever form. They don't know that I know history very well. When the Janjaweed would try everything and it fails with the Oduduwa lackeys, they are lapdogs from Oduduwa. They are lapdogs. Yoruba lapdogs to the Fulani. When they try everything and it fails, they go for blackmail. And I warned you people here on Radio Biafra. I warned you in 2014. I warned you in 2015. I said to you that we must train ourselves. Because the heavyweights will join this very battle of blackmail. and BBC has joined the battle. They use BBC Igbo and BBC Pidgin to open up their phase of attack against me and IPOB. If you go and Google Nnamdi Kanu, you will see that same news. It's been there for nearly a month. BBC Pidgin. In that news, it says that Nnamdi Kanu collects $85,000 every month to rubbish Nigeria. Not that I pay off that, I collect from people. BBC. And you know the funny thing? That news has been there for over a month. It's not moved, it's been there. If you Google IPOB, you will see the same news. If you Google Nnamdi Kanu, it is there. If you go to Biafra, it is there. If you go to Kanu, you see it there. BBC Pidgin. Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, they connect 85,000 to rubbish Nigeria. It is the upside down news, upside down. That is what they do, because they have looked everywhere. There is nothing in the closet, no dirty blackmail. They went for that one. An outright lie. But it doesn't matter from the BBC. It's exiting there. And I warned you about this in 2014. A time will come they will attack us with everything they've got. If we can stay strong, right now, if we can remain strong and resilient, and mount the way we attack him back, mount counter-offensive immediately, we will defeat them. Now we are defeating them. They did it to Azikiwe ran away from Biafra. That's what they do. That is their specialty. That is what they specialize in. For you to be part of IPOB, leaders of IPOB, high-ranking officer, a coordinator all the way down, if you're not in the spirit, you can never understand what we are doing and why we do it. You can never understand it. Nnamdi Azikiwe was for Biafra. Blackmail, simple blackmail. The same way some idiots stole my phone in Enugu. One day we'll remember them. You hear their story. One day, like that. Thinking that by releasing the picture, a video of me and my wife in my own bedroom, that somehow I will stop Biafra. You see how foolish they are. Owazulike kidnapped me. They stripped me naked and were videoing me. Women were urinating on me. Have you ever told you that before? Owazulike videoed it. I wanted to use it to blackmail me, and I told him to go to hell to publish it. I dare him to do it. It didn't stop me from this. And it was then I realized that Chinedu said, I'm going to put you through all these things to see if you're ready for this very battle, because you are going to meet monsters ahead. It's only preparation, and that's where we are today. Some of you don't know this, do you? That is where blackmail to us is rubbish. It never works, but it can never work. It can never work, not to us. It worked on Azikiwe, and they got him. And he denounced Biafra. That is the same thing they're using on Nnamdi. They have video of Nnamdi kneeling down and begging to be made the vice president. They have video of him kneeling and begging Tinubu to make him the governor of Enugu State. He is useless. They have something on all of them. They told Okeziba, if you talk of him, we will probe you. All the money you have stolen. Do you know Abaki Jada went to go and plead with Abaki in London to leave him a state for him? Are you aware of that? Are you aware? And by going to London to go and see Abaki, he showed he's a very weak man. That was the day they decided they would not give it to the whole person because he went to beg. You don't beg Janjaweed. You take what is yours by force. You know, they are not able to reason. I want you to understand that there is a method in our madness. We are being mad, yes. There is a method. If you calm down, you always something and down. If you calm down, you will understand that our method is delivering the result. Everywhere is IPOB and Biafra. Everywhere blankets. We know what we're doing. But if you're a fool, you cannot say it. Because you're not under oath, you're not in the spirit. Once the demon of Sabo goes inside you, you're finished. You're gone. Now you understand what we're doing. I said I was going to listen to the whole of this, but I think the time is going and we'll have to leave it for another day. But I need you to understand that now is the time for us to attack more. If they say we are being insulted, insult them 100 times more now. Because the devil has come out. Devil is the serpent has reared its ugly head. We must decapitate it. We must cut off the head of the serpent. Now, not tomorrow. You don't know it's a committed attack against us to see if they can get our people to move. To say, oh, I don't want to, is it the time of Biafra that is going to come? Me, I don't want it to, Biafra is not religious freedom. When I say that you are free to worship a snake if you want, they don't want to hear that. So. No, they don't. We need a Biafra of freedom, a Biafra of religious tolerance. But you heard me say on Radio Biafra that you can worship a tortoise if you want to. You can worship a goat. That is your business. They will never hear that one. Is that one that their treacherous, envious, stubborn nature is telling them that's what they want to write? That's what they write. That is what they want. It doesn't matter how you explain that thing they want to write is what they write. Because they're foolish. Because they're not in the spirit. They don't understand what we are doing. They don't know what we're doing. When we started this movement, I made it very clear that I am the only person that knows everything. The rest I tell what I want to tell them. Because as they say when we come to the Bible, you can never tell what you wake up and find a black man doing the next morning. No. I am the only person that I can vouch for that tomorrow morning I will be doing like people, doing Biafra. I will be putting everything that I have into it. So go and search your conscience, all of you, and say and ask yourself, am I ready for this battle? We are in a very dangerous phase of the battle of hearts and minds. Oh, there is something. Is this how the Biafra is going to be? It will be a dictatorship. It will be this. And I have told them I will not be the head of state. Oh, they don't want to hear. That is how they behave. When an envious nature is bubbling away, they don't really listen to reason. I said, Nnamdi Kanu will not be. I will not contest. I will not put myself forward to contest any office. They still won't listen. That's the way they are. We know their tricks. I am waiting for BBC to unleash their own Armageddon. That's what I'm waiting for. Not to work on this theory fast. It's not 100,000 with the blue, black, and red pen. They don't talk in their shirt. They always wear on sleeve. They button it, but they won't tuck it in with sandal slippers. Light blue shirt and light brown trouser on top of sandal slippers. With her black above my dollar. You know that little bag they carry. You see that with their pen. It's always black, red, and blue pen. Professional petition writers. There is something. Is this how they're going to be? We have, from day one, I made it very clear that Biafra is open to liberate everybody. I want Oduduwa to be free. I want Biron people to be free. I want Kika people to be free. I want Hausa people to be free. I even want the downtrodden Fulani boy or man to be free. I want freedom for all. I was in prison, I was campaigning for the freedom of Fulani, of Hausa, of Yoruba, of everybody. In their presentation. In prison, I paid for lawyers to represent non-Biafrans. I presented their bail. I gave them money to transport from Kuja prison to go home. Without asking for anything else. I don't want to come and join IPAB or join Biafra. Because I believe in freedom. Freedom for everybody, not just for Biafra. I said for everybody. If you don't know. We must continue. We are live and we are there. The time now is approximately almost nearly 8:30 p.m. in the blessed land of Biafra. The whole world is listening. Humanity is, because they know we speak the truth. When they listen to us, you know, it's not injection. You know, when we are small, your mom is taking you to go and get injection at the pharmacist. You'll be complaining. But your mom is doing it not because she hates you, but because she loves you and wants you to be well. Your mom knows that needle going inside you is very painful. It's not good for anybody. But for this, her lovely child to be well, you must receive that needle. That is the needle we are giving you now. You must, to have sense, you must receive it. That's what we are doing. Not out of hatred. How can you hate people and you are prepared to sacrifice everything to save them? How? I ask. If you don't want to be a part of what we are doing, I'm not going to plead or massage or make you feel good, no. You will take that drip. You will take that injection. You will not work for us when you drink it. Bitter leaf, you know, bitter leaf. You know pump in those days. How many of you receive pump from and want somebody to look at a picture of a pump and publish it? How many of you receive pump? Now, I want to pump in one time. If you are using one pump, the same bitter leaf. They squeeze it. Your grandmother and your mother will connive behind your father's back. They will pump you. Your stomach will be full. To cleanse, it's called detox. To cleanse you, so that you can be well. That's what we are doing. It's uncomfortable, but it's something you must go through. What IPOB is doing is detoxing your brain, because your brains are full of toxicity. So we are trying to cleanse it, so you can live like a human being. If you don't know, that is the British. The damage they did to you. They showed you how to rig election, how to divide people, how everything that is wrong with you from the British. Look at where we are today. No electricity, no good, no that. Now, to the point where people come to your village, they rape a woman, abduct the daughter. You come to social media the next day, the only concern you have is, he insulted us as he was saying it. And you want me to regard you like a human being with common sense. And as you're busy yapping away at your idiocy, Janja would have brought back their bill. That Ruga, that colonization bill is back, if in case you don't know. And they are killing, you know, they're very clever at what they do. They are being advised by the British. They know what they're doing. And they're killing you, moving into your land slowly, in a stealthy fashion, moving into your villages, one death at a time, one killing at a time. They have the police with them, they have the army with them. Meanwhile, your own sons and daughters of the villages where they are taking over and killing people are in the army helping them, not knowing that. They are in the police helping them. Or are you claiming you don't know? Are some of you not in the army and the police? And your own villages are being ravaged. Do you see the foolishness of everybody in that zoo? Today we are telling you that they have resubmitted what they call an executive bill to the National Assembly for the federal government of the zoo called Nigeria to take control of all waterways and their banks in Nigeria. And this will pass. And when it passes, you start we need to protest, and after today the whole thing dies down. It is only IPOB that is consistent. Every blessed day, these same issues we raise them. Every day we raise them. That you may know what is happening to you. They are bringing back the Ruga bill, is coming back, and they will pass it. Because all the governors, they have promised them vice presidential slots, all of them. After the expose I did on the woman that the daughter was abducted, all of a sudden Nnamdi State sent some people there to go and give her money. I saw her now, she's now wearing makeup, foundation, she's wearing eyelashes, false eyelashes. They made her up, brought a makeup artist, they made her up. And I'm thinking, is this the woman I was talking to the other day? That's how blacks are. Black people. Now you understand, don't you? What we're saying. Somebody saying this is a bad deal. All Nigerians, all niggers in this bill must rise up now to resist this obnoxious bill. And for those who are listening from civilized societies, wondering why this man will be calling their own people niggers, is because That is their name. Nigeria is Nigeria. It's Niger. It's a Niger territory, that is the name. And that is why they are Nigerians. They are the only people to be named after a slave, and they will take it. They are the only people that you come to them and say to them that your name which praises God in heaven, Somtojubu, is bad. You should try and answer Bonaventure, and they will agree. I want people to understand that there is something defective in the brain of a black man. That is why you will abandon everything that you are to adopt something that you're not even good at in the first place. Do you understand me? And somebody cleverly wrote, or should I say, commented or even observed what has been happening, what has been going on. The person said, do not blame Janjaweedism, Islamization on anything else, blame it on colonialism. Very, very important, because our argument has been very simple. Very, very simple. They are arresting, I'm sorry to stop here. There is ongoing arrest of IPOB family members in a place called Amangu, in Afi South local government area of the Bonny State. They are not arresting Fulani headsmen that kill our people. They are not arresting Miyetti Allah terrorists who incidentally are serving in some of these governments. They are not doing anything of that sort, but they are arresting IPOB family members. So if you are a frontline IPOB family member in Amangu, in Afi South LGA in the Bonny State, we are receiving information now that SARS are arresting our people in that very area. Very, very important, because of the death of a Fulani person who died, and because nobody is able to account for why these Fulani terrorists died. They are now out to arrest everybody. That's what they're doing. That is the type of land that we are in. I do not know what is happening. We are trying to get to the Jihadi Watch site, and for some inexplicable reason, it is not opening. Because I want the whole world to understand what is happening. They have taken it off. Jihadi Watch. It's in Yahoo News, actually. Don't blame Sharia for Islamic extremism in the zoo called Nigeria. Blame it on colonialism. Some of you don't quite understand the extent of the damage that colonialism did to the brain and the psyche of people who call themselves Nigerians. You don't understand. Without the British giving power to the Fulanis, I don't think that today Miyetti Allah will be, should I say, the second most deadly terror group in the whole world. These are the damaging effects of colonialism that some of you are blind to, some of you cannot see. Now we must continue. Some people are saying you must restructure now or risk collapse. Who is saying restructure now? Or Basanjo is saying so. Restructure now or we risk collapse. Or Basanjo, that you went to war to fight against restructuring. True or false? Ojukwu went to Ghana to negotiate at Aburi with Gowon. Ojukwu came back and said, implement Aburi. Gowon said no. The next minute, you people flooded our land, and by the time you are done, 5 million people lay dead. And now, after 53 years, you're asking for black people. You're asking for restructuring. You're asking for the same Aburi that all of you saw, but did nothing about. That is the way they are in the zoo. That is how they reason. Or Basanjo is asking for warned again of the possible collapse of Nigeria if the Buhari administration, of course, is not Buhari's Aisha's boyfriend with Buhari mask, looked on while the country lapses into various insurrections and criminals. Who are the criminals? You have in Nigeria Fulani headsmen. Who are the terrorists you have? Fulani terrorists, Boko Haram, ISIS in West Africa, Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, and some all Fulani. In spite of all these shortcomings, Britain still wants them to retain power. Something I can never understand. And now people are lamenting. Oh, that is restructure. How can you restructure? You went to war to go and kill restructuring. Now you're asking of restructuring. The same thing will happen to our people, Biafrans. One day they'll be pleading and say, oh God, where is IPOB? Why is IPOB not here? They will beg. After, if somebody said to the Jew that time, 53 years ago, that one day this thing that you are fighting Biafrans for, you'll be begging for it, you won't get it. They won't get it. Everybody now in the middle belt, where Go One comes from, is asking for restructuring. They want the same thing that was negotiated at Kabul. But they went to war because of it. That is a typical black man. They went to war, killed 5 million innocent Biafrans because of it. And after 53 years, shamelessly they're asking for it. What does that tell you about them? What does that tell you about them? We must warn our people in our people, please. Very, very important to go into the bush tonight. Because Dave Umahi is spearheading. Have they cut us off? Because Dave Umahi is heading the raid in that very place. They are arresting our people. Very, very sad indeed. That's what they do. Very, very sad indeed. I've preached before about Ottoman and Fodio, what they are doing and what they will continue to do, if some of you will understand. It was the same people that said 1914 was a mistake. Somebody wrote something very, very important, which I will try and go through later on. But we must understand that the history of the Fulani in West Africa, like that of Islam, is essentially a violent succession of military conquest. You must understand that. This is what I want to do to understand. I want Yoruba people, you to do what to understand this. Understand it. Understand it. Don't be like Obasanjo. After 53 years, you now realize you made a mistake by going to fight Biafra. What was Biafra? Biafra was about restructuring. It was when that restructuring, it didn't say, it was when Britain advised Nigeria, go on, through Fulani, to abandon the restructuring, that the war broke out. So Obasanjo went to war to go and fight restructuring. After 53 years, he is now asking for the same thing that he fought against. People must ask Go On, stop praying. Show us a good accord. And tell us why it was not implemented. That is the type of truth people should be after. Not all this cosmetic nonsense, restructuring, 4 regions, 6 regions, 8 regions, rubbish. The issue is Go On alive? Yes, Go On. Where is that abhorring accord? And another question is, as you're looking out, tell us, why did you not implement it? End of story, and the whole issue is solved. And I hope for deceivers, people deceiving themselves. They know where the answer is. Why are you having a restructuring debate when Go On is alive? Go and ask him where is the damn document, bring it out. And then you hold him and ask him, instead of this your useless prayer, you say you claim you're holding. Bring out, as you're bringing out your Bible again, your fake Bible, bring out the Aburi Accord. And as you're praying to God, ask God, answer, why did you not implement Aburi Accord? People are there deceiving themselves. They're asking me when I go to see diplomats, won't you agree to restructure Nigeria? The one that was restructured of Aburi, what happened to it? What happened? You want IPOB to kill him, to prepare for election in 2023 to become relevant. But was it not what happened in Imo State? People voted and they put him number 4. From number 4 to number 1. If we come out now to defend the vote, they will kill us. And what will you do? He wanted people to die. People are just so dumb, it's unbelievable. That's why I'm telling you who you are, and you start insulting you. Who told them insulting you? Who told them insulting you? There was something in news I saw today was so shocking I couldn't believe it. So shocking, was unbelievable. And when I see such news, I double down on the way that I speak to people. I double down on it. When you went to war 53 years ago to go and kill the restructuring which you're not asking for, which I think is very bizarre, very foolish and very bizarre. I can't understand it. I can't understand. Why then did you go to war? Why did you kill 5 million Biafran people? Why? Ojukwu went to Abuja to negotiate for a restructured Nigeria. Came back and asked you, please implement what we agreed. He didn't ask for Biafra. Ojukwu said, implement what we agreed in Abuja. You said no. That was why the war, that was why you invaded my land, to kill as many as you can. And today people are asking for restructuring as if the man that negotiated for restructuring is dead. Gowon is alive. So, Obasanjo, take your query on restructuring, not to Aisha's boyfriend in Asoro, take it to Gowon. Maybe you might get some mileage out of it. I read this news and it reminded me as to why I keep saying it all the time, that black people are intellectually deficient. I'm saying it now, so those of you who have white friends and you cry, oh, he's insulting people. Listen carefully to this, what I have to say, please. This is headline from British Guardian newspaper. Petrol sold to Nigeria from Europe is dirtier than black market bush fuel. Do you know what is the black market bush fuel? It is those, what they call the model refineries you have, that's those that are into oil bunkering do in our land, in the coastal region of Biafra land, especially in Eastern land. What I'm at a loss to understand this. Guardian newspaper in the UK is trying to remind us that Nigeria, they import fuel from outside. And they have 4 refineries in Iguacha, One, Warri, and Kaduna. 4 refineries that cost billions to build. Now, when I say something, they say you are insulting black people. You are so insulting. You are rude and you're arrogant. And I want somebody to tell me why a so-called country that oil comes out of the ground in Biafra land, with 4 refineries, every year they graduate over 10,000 students or undergraduates of petroleum engineering, petrochemical engineering, and chemical engineering. These people that are graduating, they have no jobs. Now, just follow me, please. Be patient with me. The people graduating from this university, they have no job. But meanwhile, there are 4 refineries that are moribund. And what you need to get these refineries to be working is simple crude oil. And that crude oil is coming out in abundance. In fact, it is exported to outsiders. Now, this is the funny part about this whole nonsense. They now export this fuel to Europe as crude oil that contains everything. It contains kerosene, it contains fuel for petrol for your car, it contains grease, it contains engine oil, it contains everything. You export this raw material as Britain intended, and then you import fuel, which is petrol. And that petrol you're importing from Europe is better than the ones we are refining. And you always send the army headed by Fulani people to go into our creeks to destroy our refineries that is producing cleaner fuel than the one imported from Europe. I want the world to understand the level and the scale of foolishness of the black man, so that when we say what we say, they can now appreciate why we are upset, why we are very angry. We have oil coming from our land. We can refine that oil. But Fulani said no. We don't want any employment in Biafra land. We want you to suffer, to go to Kanu, to go to Abuja, to go to Lagos. We want you to travel. We want you to emigrate out of your land in search of greener pastures. Go to Europe, go to America, go to wherever. It doesn't matter to them. They take that our oil, rather than refining it in Iguacha refinery, or in One refinery, or in Warri refinery, or even in Kaduna. They say no. They export it abroad. These are your leaders. These are your elite, your intellectuals. Those you call political leaders. They are doing this to you. Meanwhile, your own children are graduating from University of Port Harcourt in Water, of course, and from USC as well in Water, and many other universities. They have studied petroleum engineering, which means they are now ready to work in the petroleum sector, which means in the refineries. Here there are no jobs. Do you see why we want Biafra? Can people now begin to understand why we need Biafra? Can you now appreciate what we are talking about? Can you now see that the zoo called Nigeria shouldn't stand? Do you see the quality of politicians that you're producing? Do you see how sad and miserable existence is? And the fuel that you're bringing in from Europe is dirty, much more dirtier than the ones we are actually refining, the ones that the Fulanis are destroying, the ones that are killing us over. Can't you see? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Black market fuel made from stolen oil in rudimentary bush refineries, hidden deep in the creeks and swamps of Biafra land, is less polluting than the highly toxic diesel and petrol that Europe exports to Nigeria. They analyzed in the lab. They found out that what we are refining in the creeks is cleaner than the rubbish they are bringing from Europe. And when they see us refining, they kill us. And they bring in poison from Europe. That is the aspect of the raising of a black man that I can never condone. You see why I said that black people are backwards? Our reasoning is backwards. Do you see why we want Biafra? People graduate from universities. They graduate and they give them a very poorly made Chinese phone. They come online campaigning for one idiot or the other, saying it's the son of my village. Yet they have no jobs. The refinery is up the road, it's closed. The one you're trying to refine in the house is better than the one they're importing from Europe. They transport the crude oil to Europe, they only bring back one item, petrol, out of it. So all the other components, aviation fuel, paraffin and everything is now left to European colonial masters. And you come back and you claim your intelligence. You claim I should respect you. Are you not even ashamed of asking me to respect you? That is how the zoo flows. That is how they work. That is how the zoo works. That is how it works. And that is why we must do all we can to ensure that Biafra is restored. Restored in our time. Restored in our time. Restored in our time. That is the way it is. That is why somebody wrote today, I got it very early in the morning. The person that said, wonder shall never end. Those of them that believe in one Jew, one Nigeria, how market? How? I posted it. How market? I'm asking you. They have now flagged up their gas pipeline to Tunisia, to Algeria, and you're busy writing rubbish on Facebook. Now the hand is insulting. IPOB is insulting you. They are digging pipe and taking the gas to North Africa. You morons, you idiots. You're busy writing rubbish. Polluting everywhere with your darkness and your ignorance. Your oil is traveling all the way to North Africa. Your gas is all the way to North Africa. And you're foolishly there, as useless as ever. You're a graduate of petroleum engineering. No jobs. That the thing you should be working on is traveling to Tunisia. Traveling to Algeria, and you're there campaigning for the next idiot for another 4 years. When you know that Biafra is the way that leads you into the light, you're busy gossiping your lives away. If you have something meaningful doing, you'll be gossiping your life away. There is something they need to understand. Something all of you, including the Iraqs and all these professional petition writers, something you ought to understand. Very, very important, please. You must understand this. That somebody know this, I'm going to read it, please. Every politician from the South, including Chinedu, all of them, they are driven by an untold degree of selfishness. While in office, they are all aspiring for the next office. That's why after governor, they must be senator. After senator, they must be governor. They keep rotating themselves. That is their only ambition in life. HAUSA is an example. The strategy to get on the ladder is to sacrifice your people. That's what they do. As HAUSA did in Imo. Their towns and their villages and their region. They are prepared now to come Biafra and hand over adjacent to Biafra as long as they go to Senate. We are doing the same for ourselves. And some people will rise up tomorrow morning to defend a charlatan, rise up tomorrow morning to defend a traitor. Nnamdi is there and they are killing his people who never uttered a word. Not one single word. You remind him to say something, he just will come out and say you're insulting him. Fools. Anyway, just a handful of them. We cannot give you, in fact, if I start to name all of them, I will be happy tomorrow morning. Remember Peter, an Igbo man. He said he's not an Igbo man because he wants to be president of the zoo. He wanted to run for presidency. He squandered the whole money that belongs to River State. He gave it to northern emirs and he gave it to northern opinion leaders. At the end, he failed. Remember that during Obasanjo's tenure in office, he promoted infrastructural development in the north in order to get a third term. He thought an agenda to pass through. At the end, he failed. Remember our dear brother James Ibori? He wanted to be vice president to Yaradua from Delta State. In fact, he converted the Delta State liaison office in Abuja to another ATM for all the northern PDP members. At the end, he did not only fail, he was sent to prison. We remember our dear brother Goodluck Jonathan. He postponed every development in the south of Biafra land because he was waiting for his second tenure. He put all his resources into rehabilitating Al-Majiri in the north. He built palaces for the emirs from Sokoto to Maiduguri. He built Abuja Kaduna Railway. There's none in this village, none whatsoever. Oh my goodness. If West Road was not even completed, but he built a railway in the north. He built and completed federal universities in Katsina, Jigawa, that only did foundational groundbreaking for the federal university in Biafra. At the end, he was kicked out of Aston Villa by the same INEC chairman that he appointed. That's how foolish they are. Let's not insult them. You can see why I insult you. I am looking out for foolishness so you can hear. Remember somebody called Ibe Kakachuku? His name is Ibe Onekachuku, but he doesn't want to sound Igbo. So he will say his name is Ibe Kachichuku. He is from Delta. He's not Igbo, he's from Delta. I don't know if it's from Nile Delta or from Mississippi Delta or from Thames Delta or from the Delta of the Danube or from Limpopo Delta. No, but just Delta. Hi, Ibe warrior. Ibe Kachuku is his name. He was the general managing director of NNPC and a junior petroleum minister. He promoted the Ajokuta Kaduna Kanu gas pipeline that was, started yesterday, flagged off yesterday. But there is no gas pipeline in his own geopolitical zone. But he was the one that started the Ajokuta Kaduna Kanu gas pipeline. He rehabilitated the Petroleum Institute in Kaduna. When the one in Warren is not even in the budget. It's from Delta. And what is Delta? These are the elites. Why don't you have them in Biafra? They are the elites. You must get the elites to support what is happening. You get the elites to join. It's an elite. Elite for the Alamajri, for Janjaweed. Janjaweed elitism you have. In fact, they kicked him out of office. He was humiliated out of office with his tail behind his two legs. Remember somebody called Obono Obla? He was appointed the chairman of the Government Asset Recovery Committee. His target was only all the past office holders from his own region and the south. In fact, the Biafra land. At the end, he was framed and arrested. I want to get down to their stupidity. So the world can hear. These are the elite from the elite they want us to join into one Nigeria. Do you remember the immediate past managing director of MDDC and Akwa Ibom State APC governorship candidate? Remember? You see why I kind of give out emergency jobs and contracts. You know, NDDC became an ATM for the Villa Boys. Where he is now. How about one they call his name is Chinedu? I won't call him Rotimi. His name is not Rotimi. His name is Chinedu. He is lobbying to be the vice president in 2023. He sold the entire South and became a frontline saboteur. That was why, as a transport minister, he found it necessary to build Lagos Ibadan, Abuja, Kaduna, Kanu, Katsina Rail Line. The Great Eastern Railway from Iguacha via Aba, Onitsha to Enugu and Dokene in his books is not feasible. Second Niger Bridge, not even completed. There are many of them. The current petroleum minister is the Timi Prayer Silver. Do you know what he has done? If you say South, we from Niger, we from South. We are not going to compete with Biafra thing. You will think they will do something for their laboriously named South or Niger Delta man. For we are darkness Delta. No. His name is Timi Prayer Silver. They will tell you he's the son of the soil. He's a South son. Whatever rubbish means, South. He, Timi Prayer Silver, has initiated the construction of the Ajaokuta Abuja Kaduna Kanu gas pipeline to facilitate, the building of a gas-powered station in Abuja and Kaduna, and to turn Kanu into an industrial hub. And he's from Bayelsa, where people drink the same water they defecate in. He's an elite, frontline elite politician, elite. They are the elite. As the person said, he said the story is too long, and I agree with him. That was why somebody came and was campaigning very vociferously. He said, this man is in Cameroon, he's cutting off the heads of every French colonial master, their statue they have in Cameroon. He said, if your statue is history, we the indigenous people, we are saying your history is on top of our own history. It's overshadowing our own history. Your history is overshadowing the indigenous history. And I love this man so much because this is what I want the idiots who don't understand what I'm saying about religion to be able to appreciate. To understand something. Your history, you that brought me all this, your history is overshadowing my own history. Why should I allow your history to overshadow my own? Will you allow me my own history to overshadow your own history? Simple question. They can't answer it. And I call you not a useless, dumb set of people that cannot reason very well. That was why an Akwa Ibom born lady married to a man in Cross River State cannot be the Chief Justice of Cross River State. This is what the zoo has done to us. The people making all these policies, all these idiotic policies in Cross River, they forgot that Cross River and Akwa Ibom are the same people. They forgot that there's something called ethic. Ethic is a derivative of the Bible. How can you go? I don't. It's so painful. Honorable Justice Ibemen, appointed as the Chief Justice of Cross River State, could not be confirmed because she is from the neighboring Akwa Ibom. But her husband is from Cross River. If this thing were to happen now in America or in Europe, people will be shouting racism. Racism, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. You see all these stupid Christians they created for us, what it has done to us. The husband is from Cross River. She is entitled to be nominated or to be appointed and confirmed as the Chief Justice of the state. But alas, no, she is not from there. But before Akwa Ibom State was created, all of you were Cross River State. Do you see how daft the very style is? Do you see how daft we are as a people? Do you see why I use the choice of words that I use when describing black people? Do you see how foolish we are as a race? Can you see our idiocy? They think everything is comedy, everything is a joke. Nobody, no, I won't say nobody because in IPOB we reason. Nobody, these people they don't go back to go and think. Before this place was called Cross River State, all of a sudden, they, it's so sad, so sad, so sad, so sad. I don't know, I'm tired and I'm fed up. Tired and fed up. This level of idiocy, I don't know where, and I have no idea where it comes from. And as I'm on air right now, I have a news for those of you who are worried about insults. It is breaking from a Yoruba newspaper. This is from Nation Newspaper saying, Fulani gangs have raped a woman to death in Ebonyi. Her name is Agnes Okekbe from a Abakaliki government area. She was hired by a farmer in the community to harvest some crops. While working in the farm, two headsmen came with heads of cattle gangs. They raped her until she lost consciousness. And you want me to be part of one Nigeria? Where's the law? God punish you and punish your family from now till the kingdom comes. Bastards everywhere, idiots everywhere. This is happening in our land, and you are more concerned about how you're spoken to. Are you not a fool? Are you not an idiot? We just think about it, of course, the answer is no. Raped to death, the Abakaliki. The day I give the order now to march, you will see these idiots from everywhere, they will crawl out. Now they won't say anything. These are the things that I expect some of you idiots to be writing on your Facebook pages and on your walls. Our land is under siege. Our mothers are being raped and killed. I've given you her name. Raped, killed in a farm in our own land, an abomination before God and before man. And all you care about is how people talk to you. Say the power of idiot. Stupid about it. In fact, show them the video of the man. Who hasn't seen the video of the man who was killed? Have you not seen it? Has anyone complained? Apart from the fact that I kept saying, where to let you? That is one of their very reality. And he came out. And he lamented. There is a reason why I want to hear Udejinjim lament. There is something it does to the spirit. Those of you that survived the war as I did, after the war, there's a song. I don't know who played that song. Somebody will tell me tonight. We'll post the one of anything in there. Go and look for it and listen to it. Apply. Nobody can listen. Even as a child, I listen to it. My life changed till today. You go to one organic in there. Go and listen to it. You will know what the zoo did to you. Look at, they are not killing us in our own homes. Look at that video. Publish it so they will see it. Oh, that is come out today, and I thank the Most High that He's alive and well. He's alive and well. Oh my goodness. There's something they're doing in this, they're doing in Burkina Faso. Some of you don't know this. There is bloodshed in Burkina Faso, Fulani on the march everywhere. With the money they stole from the zoo, subsidy scam, all the fraud in the world they're perpetuating, they are using it to spread a new version of Fulani supremacy, using violence and terrorism. And all some of you idiots are doing is every day writing rubbish, writing junk. Writing junk. They are there in Burkina Faso. Jihadists everywhere. They are now in our land. They want to give them space by legislating for waterways and everything. They will understand it and they will pass through. And you will do nothing. Some of you, I believe all of you were, in fact, most of you were born by foreign people during the war and after the war. Some of your parents were born by the foreigners. That's why you can no longer speak. There must be compulsory DNA test. Once Biafra comes, I'll be the number one person. I'll do my own DNA test. We must do DNA test. Let us know where our fathers come from. Some of you are a disgrace, honestly. A complete disgrace. There's the same where we come from. You have to complain, I got around here arguing. All that nonsense you're yapping and talking about, is that the issue at hand? The issue is that our land is under siege. Fulani are on the march, our mothers are being raped, our men are being slaughtered, our daughters are being abducted, and you're writing rubbish. Thunder fire you there. You're writing nonsense? You're writing rubbish. Nonsense as always. He said, one more time thought you are a fool. What have you done? I want, when I go online, I look at all of you, your timeline, you're talking about what is happening in our land. That's what the world wants to read about. Not rubbish. Little more than 5 years ago, Burkina Faso was on the up. It was going up, priding itself as a favored tourist attraction destination for Europeans. Today, the country is sinking, battered by a jihadist revolt that swept in from the neighboring Mali, Janjaweed on the march. They rode into Niger and cast a shadow over the country, destroying it. That's what they're doing to us. We're not so poor, so we know, only you idiots know how to write on Facebook. Say the work will not come down. Fools everywhere. Burkina Faso is in serious mess, is in trouble. Very serious trouble. Very serious trouble. The same way the Jews in very serious trouble. And none of you can do anything about it. It was only yesterday that the Enugu Anglican Church, I'm sure it is Archbishop Chukuma, now telling them this is what I expect the useless world to be doing. Useless to the core. Compromiseful, meaning down to bed. His useless era, you know that about it. Why did you kneel down to beg to make ordinary governor of your state? Kneeling down before your government to beg to be governor of your state. Kneeling down. Wait, you don't know the video exists. Because I'm not a blackmailer. I don't believe in blackmail. I release it. I don't believe in it. Anything I say is gospel, and they know it's truth. Every word I utter is gospel. I told you Burata is not coming back. I told you, what's his name? Oshibajo is missing, presumed dead. I told you have to run Fidelity. It's empty. You can camouflage it. You can pay as many people as possible to write. Imagine to Buhari. Buhari was responsible. It's rubbish. You know as well Fidelity. You are all deceiving yourselves, hypocrites. All of you are hypocrites. The Janjaweed Nnamdi, you know that. Fulani, they are like a parasite. Now is this parasite, I don't know, it's like a fish, but it's not a fish actually, I don't know what it is. It latches onto a fish. They keep sucking that fish until there's no more blood left in it and they will die. That's what Fulani is doing to you. By the time they enter into Yoruba, they will gulp you down. They will swallow you whole. It took Obasanjo 53 years to be lamenting like a baby. 53 years to realize Ojukwu was right. It took Obasanjo 53 years to realize that Ojukwu that was demonized was right. The same way some of you realize it. The right behavior has been right all around. Mad people everywhere. Enugu Anglican Church have said that all the security personnel from the north serving at various checkpoints in the southeast should go because they are the ones they are the janjaweeds that are coming in. They are the ones making your life a misery. Why can't our people police our land? You can't bring a full animal to the commission. Oh my goodness. I'm so upset sometimes that I don't know. I'm so upset. They can't say anything. Just be talking rubbish. Insecurity everywhere. Insecurity everywhere. Everywhere. People are suffering. People are dying. And all they do is 2023. Who is your governor? Have you seen a justice? Is your boss a kid here? Is he winning? Is he living? You are useless. Especially the animals from the zoo, Nigeria. I don't know what they teach them in their useless universities. Only God knows. Only heaven knows what they teach them. But they come out more useless. They come out more foolish. They come out more intellectually handicapped than they were. This is the lawmaker. I want to play a lawmaker for you, telling you the level of insecurity in the zoo. The level of insecurity in the zoo. So you understand? A lawmaker. A lawmaker in Abuja telling you what is happening in the zoo. And from Israel, from the country like himself, he said the way they started. Listen, please. Listen.
Mr. Speaker, where are we going?
Listen.
Mr. Speaker, I cannot go to my village and sleep. I cannot go to my village and spend a night. I am speaking to you.
Adamuchika speaking.
For the last 1 year, wallahi, I can't go to
an APC member of the House.
And this is where I find
He's crying in the House.
Mr. Speaker, it is terrible.
He's crying.
It is terrible.
Of course it is.
We have to do something about it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Are you listening now? Did you hear that? This is supposed to be a lawmaker. His name is Adamuchika. APC, Niger State, Niger State. He is lamenting. He is crying. Begging for something to be done. He has not gone to his village. He is crying. Is he concerned about himself? I'm asking you, is he concerned about himself? Is that what is you, are you going to stop Biafra? Once we commence our march, if Saturday you will fall, we will kill you. You are going to have a great. And instead of all that nonsense you're writing, instead is to do your proper sabotage work, to write to governments of the world, to report to Nnamdi, Kanu and IPOB. Because if you think I'm going to keep quiet as they continue to kill people, then you're dreaming. Do you think I'm keeping quiet? I'm collecting all the evidence, that's all. So any day I give the order to match, the world will see that they are the ones provoking us. You think I'm the fool? I know what I'm doing. We are keeping quiet, collecting all the evidence. So the day I give the order to match, the world will know that we are the aggrieved party. Not all the lies of 67 to 70. After 53 years now, can we restructure? The same restructuring why you went to war after 53 years. Because you have no vision, you have no foresight, out of envy towards Ujuku because he's well read and blessed. After 53 years, you're begging for something that Ujuku gave to you on a platter of gold. 67. On a platter of gold. You said no. Out of your envy. That is the thing about the enviousness of the black man. It is blind, it doesn't see. Well, some of you now, 2 or 3 of you, in defense of now. That was how Ojukwu was castigated. He's a rebel. He's a rabble rouser. He's a young man. He was only 35. He doesn't listen to others. He doesn't listen. Isn't it very funny? And after 53 years, those that claim they know they are begging for what Ojukwu gave them on a platter of gold. And you're not ashamed of yourselves. Let us listen to Adamushika again. I love his lamentation. He was crying. That is the zoo for you. That is Nigeria for you. That is the colonial contraption that the British built for you. That is the human misery of the country for you. That is where you export oil, crude oil, and import only petrol that is dirtier than the ones that we are refining in our bushes. That is the place where a graduate can never find a job. But instead we're praising those who is making his life or her life a misery. Only in this zoo, only in Africa, only a black person can be in such a very dreadful way. Sad indeed. Listen to the voice of Adamushika and weep for yourselves and your zoo, Nigeria.
Mr. Speaker, where are we going? Mr. Speaker, I cannot go to my village and sleep. I cannot go to my village and spend a night. I'm speaking to you. For the last 1 year, wallahi, I can't go to my village and sleep. I feel very insecure. And this is where I find myself. Mr. Speaker, it is terrible. It is terrible. We have to do something about it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Did you hear that? That is the legendary zoological republic for you. That is the way the zoo runs. People don't listen. When you try to correct them, you're insulting us. So is it not better for you to be insulted and you listen properly and do something about the state of instability in the land so that you can go to your village? If you've learned nothing this evening, as an aspiring traitor, mobile baby sabo, if you've learned nothing today, because Nnamdi comes from a lineage of saboteurs. If you've not learned anything today, I want you to learn this, or to take this away. Ojukwu was called every name under the sun. The British demonized him. All manner of names were leveled against him. Today he's in the grave of blessed memory. After 53 years, the same thing Ojukwu got and negotiated for everybody, those that fought Ojukwu are today asking for it. Now, who is the fool? Only you can answer that. And on that note, we have come to the end of today's proceedings. We are proud of what God in heaven is doing with us. Jealousy means nothing to us. Traitors will come, they will go. Our march is unstoppable. As I told you before, not everybody who started with us will end with us. Some will fall by the wayside, new people will come in, but the march is unstoppable. Look at the football team. I remember now that Liverpool is the champions once again of England. People have come, they've gone, but the name Liverpool remained. That has going to be with IPOB. People will come, people will go, but IPOB shall remain. Those playing for Liverpool today, the record for Liverpool, the last 10 years, that's how it's now. But that name, that 12 remains. That's how life is. So I want all of you hardcore to be resident. Determined more than ever. We will take the fight. You know, our enemies don't like the fact that we take the fight to them. We take the fight to you. And we demolish you. That is not going to stop. We are even going more ferocious. Because we know our enemies are coming. Because things will happen this year. We need to be prepared for the fights to come. Because it is that Biafra comes or we all die getting Biafra. Simple as that. And that is why we proclaim with every certainty, without any hesitation and with every pride, honor and dignity in us, that Biafra is not just a country, it's not just a nation, but Biafra to us is a religion. here on Radio Biafra is where we worship. Because Elohim Adonai El Shaddai, God Almighty in heaven, the Alpha and the Omega, is our God. From me, from here, it is good evening.
Get it online on your mobile. This is IPOB Community Radio, Radio Biafra, the first and the last. Hashtag, we are one family, indivisible. Under Chukwu Okike Abiyama, we are the people of the East.